Hasbro pre-orders. I'm never going to financially recover from this.
That's right.
What is going on, everybody? It is that every other Wednesday night. So you know what that means. It is time for 7's Wild Down South Boys Talking Toys. I am G.I. Joe Exotic, and with me, as always, is
Pop Redneck Wife. I'm here. I'm not happy about it. Okay, because I done been told twice.
Hey, I see you got them glasses on. You done been told twice.
I done been told twice now. Now, don't make fun of me. But I do want to say, first of all, I have friends and relatives in the performing arts, and I would love for y'all to support the performing arts. My friends and my mom, my relatives, are in the performing arts, and I just love for y'all to donate, like Toys for Tots, except it's toys for adults that take their clothes off.
We have a friend that just did some of that, but I think it was a different type of toys.
Oh, take their clothes off?
No.
Oh.
I think he was raising money for a different cause other than what you're talking about. Now, were you in those same performing arts?
No. Well, I was, but it was underground. It was cash only and for methamphetamine.
Okay, I understand. I think I've been to one or two of those performances.
Yes, it was. You might have been at more of them. Our cousins support each other.
That's right.
And I appreciate it. I'm just a little timid right now. I've been, you know the joke, right?
I
know
brought
what
some
you
of
tell
my
a woman with two black eyes, right?
nothing. You done told her twice.
That's what I heard this morning.
Yeah, that's so you got those nice glasses on. Oh, damn.
Excuse me while I touch my beautiful locks.
Is that L'Oreal or is that Garnier Fructase you got?
No, that's undercover girl. That's what I used to do for the police when I worked the streets.
I dated her sister from Undergirl.
No, I've seen her. She's horrid.
She was a sight for sore eyes, let me tell you.
She's a true mess. She really is. But I love her so. Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. You took the words right out of my mouth. All right, what's going on, y'all? 7's Wild. We are back again. We obviously did not rehearse any of that, and I did not see his costume before we went live. So your reaction was my reaction.
Yes, these are natural, by the way. All natural bar towels shoved underneath my shirt.
I see you've been on that estrogen lately. You've been watching too much Disney.
I'm just trying to get free money from the government.
Yeah.
Yes.
Buy more Joes, buy more toys.
I can buy more toys. I identify Caesar and Toy T.
I still got to order my Caesar, Prince Caesar.
Oh Lord have mercy!
You guys realize we could probably do the entire show just doing this.
I would 100% do the entire show in that voice. I would stay in character. I kid you not. Yes, Shane, exactly.
There's the ticker I forgot to start.
Oh yeah, the tickler or the ticker?
The tickler, the French tickler down there at the bottom. Down there at the bottom where it belongs.
You said Wayne.
You said Wayne.
Wait a minute.
So before we go into the chat, what is going on with you there? What you been into today?
Obviously a lot today. No, I haven't really done a lot. I did go to Target and buy Road Pig since I've been waiting on Hasbro since they confirmed my order and everybody seems to have got him. I am waiting on Road Pig, and so I canceled it and went to Target out near you and snagged one.
Did you use the 25% off thing, I hope?
No, but whatever. I don't know. I bought it online.
Yeah, that's where the coupon shows up.
Well, it didn't show up for me. I saw the thing online, and then it was like,
Oh,
"Here, buy it," but there was no coupon. I mean, otherwise
oh,
I used it, but it didn't.
yeah, they've been running a 25% off of whatever thing. I almost bought a tiger
Huh.
paw, but like I don't need another tiger paw.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
gonna
I
get
definitely would
another.
have used it if they had it, but yeah, when I was looking last night, I bought it last night, and but yeah, no, there was no coupon, there was no prompt or nothing for it. It just said here it is, and they've got it in stock at that store, and so I was like, cool, I'll just go get it tomorrow. So went to get it today. I was telling Matthew last night I've been waiting on it and never showed up, and so I went to go get it, and that's about it, and came back and worked on the treatments for the horror scenarios for our GI Joe characters, and had fun doing that for sure. So I can't
Yeah,
wait.
that's good. Well, yeah, so that's crazy. Did you have any tracking on Road Pig or anything? Like, is he
No, there
just
was
in
nothing.
limbo?
There was
Was he
nothing.
coming DHL?
Nope. The rest of the order had already been
Wow.
delivered. I've already gotten the rest of what I ordered with him at the same time. So then it just sat and it just said confirmed. And it had, it was like, okay, well, I mean, I'm bound to get some info on it. Everybody's gotten him by now, or he's been shipped out, I'm sure. And nothing, like absolutely nothing. So I was like, well, screw it. I'm going to cancel it, and I'll just
Uh,
go ahead and get it. I just happened to
yeah,
look it up, and it said there were 4 of them at the Target near you. That's all they had. They did not have
crazy.
anything else. All they had was that. They had some of the reaction, or they had the red jackal. There was like 3 of them hanging on a peg. But
Yeah,
that's it. That's all they had. So
that's crazy. So I can't
yeah, I don't
believe
know what
that
happened.
they.
I don't know. I
I
don't know what
mean,
happened.
Hasbro gone Hasbro. Like they've gone backwards. Maybe I need to do another video. Give
Man,
light a
there's just
fire.
some weird crap going on, and then with the delays now, and I love everybody making excuses and trying to act as if like it's normal, like that's a normal operating procedure for a normal line that is out. It's this isn't like your 3 zeros. This isn't like some collectible $400 figure special edition. These is just a regular line that they've been putting out for 4 years now. And for some reason now all of a sudden they're just like, hey, yeah, you're gonna have to wait a year. So it's almost like, why even reveal the regular figures? Like, why even do that? I'm not saying it'll take them a year, but at the same time, what's the point, right? Like,
I,
what's
I
even do?
still I still say the hell with all of the reveals and the renders and the names, and just get it ready and surprise us and say, hey, this is going up for order tomorrow. All these
And you
fan
can get it,
streams and
and you don't have to worry about it being sold out. You
yeah,
can
just
order it and not have to worry about it, but whatever. Hey, it's
bunch
not
of
my business. I'm not in
bunch
that
of
business. So
nonsense.
yeah, but
Bunch of
anyway,
nonsense.
so yeah,
I
that's
do
about
have
it.
I do have something related to that in just a
Okay.
minute. So I just went to work today, had an easy day, got home early, did some online computer stuff for work, and come back in and finished my work for tonight's stream. We got a good one for y'all here in a little while, you guys. We both put a lot of work into this, so we have rewritten some of the GI Joe characters, or Cobra, whoever, origin uh origins stories, and we've rewritten them in blood. So we've given them horrifying backstories, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So we're gonna get into that here in a little while.
Yeah, it was
th-
fun
this this was great. So
and
let's
goofy.
yeah, it's mine went to a dark place though. So
Okay, no, that's great. I've
um,
got one really that's more standard, tale
yeah.
horror fare. The rest of them get pretty fun.
Oh
So
yeah, minor out there. So let's say what's up to the chat, shall we? Got Crimson Cobra Commander was in here
yeah,
first. Same time Toys is here. Son of a Crayon Slayer is here. Hey now. Turk Murphy's Toy Solution. Fellas.
Turk.
Let's see. Let me slide on down. There's Pop Blenders here.
Oh, what do you
usually
know?
usually it's Pop Blender, but tonight it's Redneck
Yeah, I
Life.
didn't. I didn't feel like changing my YouTube channel name so I could chat. You know, it's just a lot to go through.
Just too much damn work. So Frostbite's GI Joe Repro is here. We got Bobby Wald in the house.
Bobby.
Yeah, that's makes a good point. Scariest movie I've ever seen is the Snake Eyes origin. I still have nightmares. Had some good elements, but overall, yes, it was quite the turd.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Menjoza has joined us. What is going on, Menjoza? Shane said, "Oh no, no."
Yes.
Sean Jones is here with us. You got Derek Holloman. Hey, all. Let's see. Matthew Matson. What the what? Almost kept my camera off till he was going to surprise you last night.
Yeah.
Howling Mad Mamu.
Yes, I loved it.
That was great. What's going on, Matthew? Dreadnought K6. What the actual fuck? Interestingly enough, I figured if you were here tonight, something like that would be your reaction to this.
Yes. No. And he had no idea, actually. As a matter of fact, I had no idea up until about an hour and a half ago that this is what I was going to do, truth be told. And then I saw the makeup at Walgreens and I saw the wig and I was like, oh, I got a joke. I got a joke for that. And so then I have this shirt, which is I've had it for probably 15 years now, something like that, 12 years. I don't know. And it was like, oh, of course. I am the classic don't talk back wife.
Yeah, perfect.
No sass.
Damn, you're gonna get us canceled right quick. Clint Jorgensen is here, who just come back from Tennessee. Tennessee's the second best state to visit, but they need to get the state on one time zone.
Yes.
I agree. I do agree because it's split into 3.
They've been trying that. They've been trying that shit for decades, and they just keep holding out. So go figure.
What's the first best state to visit if Tennessee is the second? I'm inquiring minds need to know.
I know it's not California.
I've never been there, but I'm gonna say you're probably right.
Hey, World 77. No, hell no.
Oh man. Still not down to the bottom. Joe Fan 84 is here. So I think we made it to the bottom. So we got 21 of us watching. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. I remember to say it early tonight.
There's War Chest stopping in. I was just talking to him for a few minutes ago before we got started.
Yes, I heard his sweet voice on the phone with you while we were backstage.
Well, I couldn't hold the phone up to my ear because I had this wig on, and then I had my headphones on too, and I'm like, well, how am I going to do this?
Yeah, I had that's a good idea. Headphones hold the wig in place.
God, I make one ugly woman. I mean, just a god awful, hit every branch falling down the ugly tree. I mean, good Lord, you know, I feel bad for people that ugly. I really do. So, Lord, I apologize.
Lord, be with the pygmies down there in Guinea.
God bless America.
Well, it's
I don't
funny,
know why anybody'd want to do this on purpose.
you just talked about road
in real
pig.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and his file card states that he was so ugly they had to dye a pork chop around his neck so the dog could play with him.
You know that's a great old joke, and we used to use that joke for all kinds of people.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's definitely a golden oldie. So honestly though, I gotta say, you know, if you can get out there to 2:15, 2:20 before the lights come on, you know, just pay the tab and go.
Right? Yeah, no kidding.
I got one comment starred, and before I forget to go back to it, same time toys. How does said 25% work off? On mine, when I open Target, it's there and it's on most toys, and it's on 25% off of one toy or game.
Yeah.
And it does not show up for everything in toys and games, but most of the action figures that I've looked at, it shows up for. When I look at Road Pig on Target's app or website, it shows up for me and it applies it at checkout. I think you got to click, add coupon or whatever, and it applies it at checkout. I was looking to see if there were any of those guys that I needed an extra of, because I was like, I hate to waste this coupon, but I don't need any of this stuff. I don't
Yeah,
need another one.
I'm telling you, man, like, usually that stuff is about as you see it immediately, right? It comes right up. And I've got it recently viewed right here, and let's see.
I only decided I was going to do this half an hour ago. I was sitting here dressed like this and thought, hey, why not go with it?
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I was almost going to go out and skip the stream. I thought about going to the bar tonight and just hanging out, being a barfly, just chilling. And then I was like, I guess I could do this stream. It's like, oh, why not? There's always late tonight. There's always tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, by the time we get done, if you head out, that's probably really about when you'd want to get there.
Right.
Crimson Cobra Commander, everybody order the Cobra Bunker and the Trench Viper. They changed the name of that. After it went up, they went back and they changed it to the Battle Toilet.
That's actually, that describes mine upstairs. So that's a perfect name. That's literally, I relate to that. I'm glad they changed that.
The battle toilet and stank viper. Repaint viper.
Yes, War Chest, you are correct.
The taco truck. Joe Fan says one girl in high school got voted ugliest girl in school. I felt bad for. They actually ran a contest, like a legit contest, like it was in the yearbook.
They wouldn't do that shit no more. Good God.
Oh no. They'd probably have best looking dude as a chick or something these days. But that conversation is for Friday nights, folks.
Yes, it is. Oh my God.
Oh, and there it is. Hopefully not fish tacos, or maybe hopefully fish tacos, depending on some other external factors there.
What's funny about these wigs that like you'll buy for Halloween and shit is like you can't use them again. They totally just go to shit as soon as you take them off. Well, maybe you've been using that one for a while, but unless you put it on a fucking mannequin head, I don't know.
Pop all Buffalo Bill looking. It put the lotion in the skin.
Yes.
It gets the hose again.
Don't make me go dance for the camera. I'll do it. I might even. Never mind. So anyway, you ever heard the football player Justin Tuck? You ever heard of that guy? You ever heard of Justin Tuck? You ever heard of Tuck's medicated pads?
Just in time.
Oh my God. I need to tuck my hair in. If anybody gets that joke, let me know.
I have actually had this wig for 4 years now. This was my Halloween costume in 2020 because Joe Exotic saved us in 2020. Right. And I went as Joe Exotic. Of course, I had on jeans and a big belt buckle, and I wore a holster, and I wore a revolver, the whole 9 yards. So I thought I would revive this one for tonight. It's time to get Joe back out in the forefront of things. So I thought I'd bring some attention to his cause before he dies or whatever the hell he's got in prison. So
I was gonna say, I was actually about to ask that question. Is he dead?
No,
I don't even know.
No, I believe he's swirling the drain, but I just couldn't. I went as Joe that year, and the girl I was dating at the time went as that bitch Carol Baskin.
Oh yeah. Oh
You know,
yeah.
I'd have had more money for HasLabs if it weren't for that bitch Carol Baskin.
Hey, I do like that Dreadnought K6 says you look like John Daly. I agree with that too. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Although John Daly, he has this big old beard now, though. Have you seen him lately?
Yeah, he's big
Like
old bushy.
big old beard. It's
Yeah,
crazy. I don't know how you play golf like that shit. I
yeah.
really don't. Like
I
that's
you
pretty
can
funny.
maybe just ties it up all Viking style and just.
No, he just lets it flow. I'm like, how can you see the damn golf ball?
And what's funny is he'd probably wear this shirt.
Oh yeah, sure. He rides around in an RV from golf
Yeah,
tournament to golf tournament, partying every weekend.
yeah,
He
and
does.
still and still good.
Still crushing it 380 yards.
Absolutely. I don't think the few times that I have messed with golf, I don't think I've hit a drive. All the drives have totaled up to 300.
Oh yeah, I understand.
Not that I'm a huge golfer or anything. It's just not my jam. Don't hate it. It's just not my
Yeah.
thing.
Yep.
No, nothing against anybody that plays. I actually like watching it.
Tons Johnson.
Nah,
Oh Lord have mercy.
fantastic. I wore this shirt on the cruise that I went on. I wore this shirt because they had like a fancy dress up night, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna pack like dress clothes for this. So I actually took a decent pair of like nice pants and some shoes that I could wear with it, and I wore this shirt, and this was my fancy dress. And I bought the shirt for this costume. I got to get some mileage out of it, and there's only so many places
Yeah.
you can wear a shirt like this and be safe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of one of those rayon shirts I had in the
Yeah.
early 90s, man, that were popular. Rayon and silk and stuff.
Oh
Like that
yeah.
was super popular in like 1992.
What
Somewhere in
was
there.
that? What was that store? Jeans West. Old JW is where I got all my silk and rayon.
Yeah. Yep.
That's right.
J
That's
Astro.
right.
Look at these sexy ladies. And I'm the one on purpose. Oh my
Well,
God.
Joe was rather ambiguous.
Yeah, he was rather
He,
ambiguous. Looky. The Wraith Mace is here too. And Wraith, Wraith, as you can see, I've dressed up as Warhammer 40K, the new no, what are the ones?
hammered.
What's the ones they introduced the women into now into the lore? Crap.
Oh,
He'll
yeah,
know. He'll know. Yeah, that's
you
what I
think of it.
that's what I dressed up as.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Let's not go into that rabbit hole.
What's up, Rafe? Derek Holloman says the color changing shirts in the 90s, hypercolor.
Yes, that's right. Holy crap. Yeah, the Custodes. Yep. I am a female Custody with 2 black eyes, Wraith. I talk back to the Emperor. Well, okay,
Yes.
not technically the Emperor since he's dead, but you know what I mean.
I said the glasses were hiding it because you made those black eyes so big. I thought you were wearing dark glasses under.
Man, I didn't. I was like, how do I make black eyes with I'm like, with the colors that I was given. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the black marker and I'm just gonna go. That's the thing. You gotta be outrageous with it, right? Like you have to go. You have to color outside the lines, right? And just make it as ridiculous as it can be.
And we're definitely coloring outside the lines.
Yes,
So,
100% today.
You look like you're about to take a hike in that football game that Ace Ventura played when he was pretending to be
hell, yes.
Put me in, coach.
Oh my God. I can't even now the shirt's stretching out, so my towels are falling around. They're like my boobies are getting all mixed matched and up and down. It might end up down around my gut here in a little bit. That's not unusual for some women in these parts.
That's the 20-year later costume. That's right. They got waist boobs around here.
Gravity is a bitch, isn't it? It sure is.
You just buy your belt 2 sizes bigger and tuck them right in.
Clint says that Hawaii is the best state to visit, with
That
Tennessee
count.
Not far behind.
Hawaii doesn't even count.
It's almost like its own continent.
Yeah, we can't count Hawaii. They're way down there in the West Ocean. They're way on down there. So,
way on
down in the Pacific Ocean land.
Let's see. Z Cavarici pants, Capezio shoes. Yeah, man, that's dude.
I ain't heard that name for a long time.
Holy moly! No doubt.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think of some of those brands, but man,
no, there's way too many from back in the day, man. I mean, it'd be fun to go down memory lane one day.
Maybe in a way. Maybe we could do a if the Joes were in
Lord,
like modern for their time, casual
wear, what would they wear?
Yeah.
Structure,
man. all the chicks would be in county seat clothes.
Structure, United Colors of Benetton. God, who knows, man? I'd have to go back and look. I mean, it's funny how you forget about some of that stuff, though.
Oh yeah, man.
Even though it was places that you shopped at all the time. Bugle Boy, yes, dude. So funny enough. So I got a record player for my son, and I got it from this guy, man. He gave it to me, and I went to his house. It was near my work, and I met him and his roommate.
You weren't wearing that, were you?
No, I was actually wearing nothing. And and so I showed up to get the record player, and so we're cutting up. Well, they live within walking distance to my bar, and so anyway, so I got the record player, put it in my car, and they take off walking to where I work. And so I'm like, well, I'm in my car, I'm gonna drive, and I'm driving down the road, and I pull up beside him, and I roll down my passenger window, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, are those Bugle Boy jeans you're wearing? Fucking shit. When's the last time you heard that shit?
I was gonna say, I hope he knows what the hell you were talking about, but if he was giving you a record player, I'm assuming he probably did.
That dude, he busted out. It was like, oh my God, I haven't heard that in 30 years, right? But those commercials, man, chick would pull up next to some guy walking down the fucking road, and it'd be like, excuse me, are those Bugle Boy jeans you're wearing?
In a Ferrari. She was
in a Ferrari, right? And it's like, and he'd say, why, yes, they are. And then she'd take off.
Thank you.
Well, son of a bitch.
Thank you. And just slap it up in first. Yep. Take the hell off.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. It's awesome. Comment Bugle Boy.
There.
Holy shit.
Start a comment there from Clint Jorgensen. What is the craziest story you have from trick or treating?
Oh my God.
Together as kids? I've got it. It comes straight to mind for me.
You tell yours and then give me a second. And I've got a message I have to respond to. So.
Okay.
But yeah, go right ahead.
So one year, and it might have been the year that we went as a bunch of us went as gangsters. We dressed up.
Oh yes.
And that was when those string guns, you guys know the silly string in the cans, that stuff had just come out, and it had gotten super, super popular. And they came out with a gun that you could put the silly string in. I don't know if anybody remembers it, but it looked like a kind of like an MP5.
Yes.
You snapped in the can of silly string.
Oh my God.
It was a real simple design. And you had the trigger, and when you pulled the trigger on it, it worked a little lever that pushed down on the nozzle of the silly string, and it shot it out the barrel. You had to make sure you had the can lined up nice.
Yeah, just right.
Otherwise, you had a hell of a misfire on your hands.
Yeah.
We had that, and we were out roaming the neighborhood at Pop Blenders because I didn't have neighbors. I usually went to his house. I went to his house, or I had one other friend that was a son of a friend of my mom's. Every now and then I'd go over there, but I usually went over to Pop Blender's house because it was way more fun. So we were roaming the neighborhood trick or treating, and there was probably 4 or 5 of us together. A lot of his friends from the neighborhood who I knew. And we went to one house, and they had a decoration on the porch, and it was a witch. It was a very well done, life size witch dummy sitting on the porch. And we approached the porch, and I remember, I was kind of a jackass back then, if you guys can imagine. And I was like, "Wake up, you old witch! Give me some candy." And we got up to the porch, and that witch come to life. Like somebody put a spell on it, and it was somebody sitting there trying to scare kids, and I just like hosed that bitch down with that string gun. I just like. And like I didn't even I just walked off. Like I just and just turned around and started walking off. And that lady jumped up and chased me and was like, what's your name? Blah blah blah. And I was like, oh shit, she gonna send me to jail because I squirted her with silly string. And so we get back, and that kind of ruined the rest of the night. I didn't shoot anybody else with silly string. And we got back to Pop Blender's house, and I'm like, what do I tell him? Like, do I tell my mom? Do I tell your mom? And I don't remember what you said or what the consensus was, but I was like, I probably better. So I actually did tell my mom, and of course I sugarcoated it quite a bit. But so my mom was like, I think she overreacted. Like, that's what I thought. So that was not super duper crazy, but it was fun. That was the one that comes to mind, actually out trick or treating. Then there's another time a little bit older that me and some of my buddies caught some kids that we did not like smashing pumpkins, and this was after I had garnered much more admiration for how long it takes to actually carve a pumpkin. So that I won't talk about the details of that, but that was another memory much later. But I was not trick or treating.
Yeah, that one's probably pretty good, actually. Man, I don't know. I mean, for me, and it's like I just remember dressing up as a ninja for like 3 years in a row. We never really. I mean, it was pretty. Our neighborhood was pretty good, man. Like, nothing really crazy ever really went down. I mean, not for me. I mean, I have some of those old pictures. I showed off a bunch of them actually on my birthday stream. I think I went through several of them, and and you're in a lot of them. Whether it's dressed up as a thug with a ski mask. It's just great. That's a classic costume. It's like, what do I do? Let's just get a ski mask.
It's very easy. You can be
a see-through tank top.
Yeah. I had that. I still have that mesh shirt. It fits one arm now.
But I mean, really, like nothing too crazy ever really happened that I remember. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, that's kind of a disappointment, but it was a good neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good neighborhood. A lot of kids, a lot of kids of the same age, within a year or so of each other here or there going to school. So everybody was kind of, all together. I do remember my best friend, Troy, they had a haunted house in his basement, in his garage one time. I don't know if you were here for that.
I remember that.
They had strobe lights.
Ooh,
and they did the whole thing up, and I remember like being a part of it. I had to put green paint all over my arms and come out from behind like a trash bag that they had hung up, and stuff like that, and I mean, that was a lot of fun, doing something that I mean, obviously, you look, it was his mom probably trying to make do and actually do something fun with little to nothing, right?
Yeah, and she did it. That was a fun little haunted house that they set up in their
Right.
basement. They like
And
had it sectioned off with sheets and stuff
yeah,
going through it.
yeah, and
Those
that actually takes a lot of work, you know, for those of that have never done it, it's probably, you know, it actually probably takes a lot of work and you got to get real creative and a lot of times, you know, trying to be creative usually makes you end up having some of the best stuff, you know, best times. And so I remember that for sure. I just was really big, man, on the glow sticks, snapping the glow sticks and throwing them in the dark up in the air and catching
yeah.
them. You know what I'm saying? Like just being on one end of the yard, somebody on the other, and just cracking them and then just shaking them and just like, you know, and throwing them and stuff like that. Yeah, Halloween. I mean, when was the? So I think of the last time that I trick or treated was probably when I probably was like a freshman in high school. That's probably, and for most people, that's probably when it happens, right?
Yeah,
Like
that was
you're a
probably
freshman in high
more.
school,
Yeah.
you know, you're maybe still in 7th or 8th grade or 12, 13, maybe. And that's probably the last time. And then once you get to high school, you're either invited to a Halloween party or you're just not, you know, you're doing something, right? You're not probably going trick or treating. If you are, it's half-heartedly.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think
so
I was
I might have been
probably
seventh grade, maybe something 8th grade at the most.
I think probably 8th or ninth grade for sure was probably the last time I went. And you guys like talking about pillowcases, like
Oh yeah.
dragging a pillowcase, Mendoza, 3 pillowcases. I ain't never went anywhere
No,
that I got
no,
3
no, that
one pillowcase full of candy, much less 3.
yeah,
You had a
no.
good childhood, my friend.
Well, I was gonna say, and I mean, you know, going around our neighborhood, I mean, you know, obviously you could go around and around, but then also too, part of it was hurrying up and getting back so you could turn on like Halloween or you could turn on whatever movie was on, right?
Yeah,
Like, you
you know
know,
what they showed back then though? They always showed Halloween 3.
yeah, Season of the
It was
Witch.
always on TV.
Yes, but they definitely showed, you know, like 1 and 2. It's just by the time you got done trick or treating, it probably was already past, you know, it was 9 o'clock or something, and it was Season of the
Yeah.
Witch was coming on, which I didn't appreciate Season of the Witch back then. I do
No.
appreciate it now, but I definitely didn't appreciate it then because I was like, why wouldn't you want more
Yeah,
Michael Myers?
where's
Hello,
Michael Myers?
right?
Yeah, that was always kind of like you said. You didn't appreciate that movie then, but it's one of those that as you get older and you realize that it was a separate story,
Right.
and you know, because they were never going to do a second Halloween. It was just they were all supposed to be their own story, and it was so successful. It got a sequel, and then by the next one, John Carpenter's like, no. So
Yeah.
Mustafa God and everybody that was involved in it was like, this is a money making machine. All we need is the name. And then they didn't realize that they really did need Michael Myers. So,
Yeah, and I mean, look, that's Hollywood, right?
yeah,
That's Hollywood. That's all
I
there is.
got one star up here I want to bring up from Dreadnought K6. We used to drive around on Halloween. We'd order large waters from McDonald's and help kids who were too old to be trick or treating or possibly just large children. I disagree. You are never too old to trick or treat or dress up, and they could be out selling crack or breaking in your mom's car instead of trying to get some free candy. So, never too old to trick or treat.
So real quick, and this is a question I want to know too, because Bobby says I trick or treat with my daughters. I let them ring the doorbell. When the person comes through the screen door to give out candy, I pop around the corner with the jigsaw mask on.
Yeah.
See, I love that kind of stuff. One thing that I would ask, like now for over here, we might get 2 people. Like
Yeah.
they're, you know, it's literally nothing anymore, and it's been that way for a while. Anybody out there who used to have like a very busy Halloween neighborhood, and now it's maybe not that way anymore, or is it always been a busy neighborhood that you live in where there's kids everywhere, because it used to be that way over here, and now it's hardly anything.
Oh
There's no
yeah,
reason to even buy candy. There's
now
really literally no reason.
where you're at, man, like you said, when we were kids, it seemed like there were kids everywhere trick
Everywhere.
or treating over there, and
Yeah.
it's kind of the neighborhood my dad lives in because I never got to give out candy. I mean, I was always when I was a kid busy going to to Pops or wherever to trick or treat. I never got to experience giving candy out at my house for Halloween. So as I got older, I would go and I would take a bunch of props and stuff, and I'd go somewhere and give it out for them just so I could set up and I could dress up and try to do a little scare or whatever. And um, I was going to my dad's for several years. He lives in a neighborhood, and I'd go over there in the afternoon. I'd get over there like 3 o'clock, 3:30, start setting stuff up. And
Yeah.
I'm talking like a couple hours worth of work setting up props and getting the lights right and getting the costume on, trying to get done before everything starts. And I do go over there and do 2-3 hours worth of work all night, man. He'd have like 8 kids, 9 kids.
Yeah.
And the most of the people on his street, nobody, there's like 4 houses on his street that gave out candy. So most people wouldn't stop because it was right around the corner to an adjoining neighborhood where the houses are really close together and
Right.
it's a really big area. So I mean, people would be driving by, obviously going up there, and I'm standing on the porch dressed like Jason, trying to wave people in, holding up candy. I was like, this ain't even fun, man. There's nobody that
Yeah.
really appreciates it. So I hadn't done it the last 3 years, I think.
And then Joseph says it's all about the trunk or treats. The only thing about the trunk or treats is, like, I get it, right? But at the same time, there's nothing scary about a trunk or treat. Like, there's nothing. So even as a kid, like, as a younger kid, let's say that yes, your parents did walk around with you, okay, but there was still something to be said for, like, the darkness. And you'd walk up to a house that didn't have the lights on, and you'd be like, oh, I'll walk up to that house. It's dark. Even though there's other people around and there's kids trick or treating, it was kind of scary. It was kind of mysterious. It was kind of, and then you would, you obviously the houses that you saw, or the people that you knew there, the families that you knew, at least for me in the neighborhood, you knew those people, so eventually they'd recognize you. But also, it's like, yeah, there was a bit of, like, scariness to it. It's dark outside. Maybe it's really cold. Maybe it's not. People sometimes, the older kids may have on a cooler costume or something like that. And so for me, it's like when you do the trunk or treat, there's nothing mysterious about that. And so if you grew up and that's all you did was trunk or treat, even though you could go to a neighborhood or go to hell, even go to one of the nice neighborhoods. We all know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. It's
Right.
like where they have all the good ass candy. Everybody knows. Everybody's got an area like that. It's like if you just did trunk or treats the whole time, you would never experience what that's actually like to really,
Nah.
see the darkness and other, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree completely. If all you did was trunk or treats, and hey, I'm not saying that there's anything inherently wrong with trunk or treats. I understand the concept. The world is crazy and
Yeah.
kids still get candy. It's a safe environment. I
Right.
understand, but it's also kind of whack. If all you've ever known is trunk or treats, you do not get the full
Hell
experience of
no.
Halloween. So I see you saw Todd C's
Yes.
comment.
Yes,
What's
I
up, Todd
cracked up
C?
about this.
Okay, Loves Mules just
Loves
popped in. So
Mule.
what's
What's
up,
up?
Loves Mules? The houses with the creepy music playing.
Gotta
So
love it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
when I would take the stuff to over to my dad and my stepmom's here, I mean recently, just up until I think two Halloweens ago. I think 3 Halloweens ago was the last time I did it. That was a staple, right? I got the little boom box with the CD player, and I've got
Right.
the CD that I burned years ago that's got
Right.
all the horror themes
And
on
the
it.
chains and
Yeah,
the
I got a couple of those, but it's mainly a disc of all the themes. You know, I had
Okay.
Halloween theme, I
Yeah.
had Crystal Lake, had Tubular Bells, Poltergeist, had all this shit on there, and then a couple of the rattling chains and the screaming and all that. You got to have the music with it, especially if you're gonna do the aesthetic. You got to have the music, and pretty much you just kind of put the Halloween theme on repeat. Or Tubular Bells, though, man, from The Exorcist.
Oh, it's
Um,
great.
but it's only really creepy for like the first 30 seconds and then it kind of picks up. But
Yeah.
that one, that's a good one too. You gotta have the fog machine.
Yeah,
Um,
I just appreciated like okay, so when my son was probably let's say 2014, 2015, somewhere in there. So
did you
yeah,
see?
I know. Oh, I did. I saw that. Trust me. So yeah, so when my son was like, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there, we would go to this subdivision all the time in Smyrna, which you know where that's at.
Mhm.
And it's great neighborhood. There was somebody with a four-wheeler pulling around a trailer with people on it. It was
Yeah.
the whole neighborhood got into it. It was awesome. But there was two houses and they would go all out. They had dummies and mannequins, and they'd park a car in the front yard and they'd dress it up like it was a horrible accident scene, and then their garage would have shit, and it wasn't necessarily a haunted house, but it was something you had to go see. If you're walking down the road and then other people are like, "Oh, you got to go down. There's a house down on the left, man. You got to
Yeah,
go
you gotta
see
go
it."
check it out.
And they got the music playing and the strobe lights and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And that's the stuff that like I really really appreciate when people go all out and the neighborhood's into it and there's just people everywhere, because yes, it's a crazy world, but I'm sorry, man, if you was trick-or-treating in that neighborhood, ain't nothing happening to your kids. There's
Nope.
people everywhere. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
And
as safe as gonna be.
that's how, like, the neighborhood that is around the corner from the one that my dad and stepmom live in,
Uh-huh.
like that's how that one is. Like they're in a pretty nice neighborhood too. That one is a nicer neighborhood, and the difference is the older neighborhood where my dad and stepmom live, they don't have street lights. And
Okay.
around the corner, the new
Yeah.
neighborhood that's fancy and the houses are close together, they got street lights, and that
All
makes
the
a
difference.
difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it don't matter how much decorating you do, or just it's I think the tradition. I saw somebody, I didn't start, but somebody mentioned it's a dying tradition, which is sad. I
That's a
mean,
shame, but it's not, there's a lot of them like that.
the spirit, I don't think will ever die, but the like it's revolving, and I don't think it's really revolving for the best. So Crimson Cobra Commander asks, "What is trunk or treat?" And Menjoza here answers him, "It's a parking lot candy giveaway. People basically, it's usually at a church or at a school.
School, something like
It's
that. Yeah.
have a bunch of people bring their cars and open their trunks or their hats or tailgate, whatever. Usually they'll decorate it up, a little bit, and it's in a one controlled, sealed environment, and the kids just walk around from car to car, going trick or treat, and then get the candy and walk 5 steps to
5
the
feet
next
for the
car,
next car.
and trick or treat. You ever see them kids? If it weren't for the influx of sugar they're about to ingest, like they're
It's
not enjoying it the
all
way
right.
we did.
It's the parents. It's for the parents' peace of mind. Now, conversely, you have the parents who love taking their kids and watching them run up to a house to a stranger that they don't know and having to talk to a stranger and ask for candy, right? And then say thank you, tell them thank you,
Yep,
and the
totally.
whole idea of all that, right? And it's like, yeah, you still do that at a trunk or treat. It's like say thank you, but you're right. It's like just the idea of taking 5 steps and then 5 steps to the next one and five and that there's such a difference. There's just such a difference in the atmosphere. And again, I think when you're outside and you're going house to house, and yes, some
Yeah.
houses are dark and some houses have people that are dressed up like a mannequin, or they're just sitting on the porch. You think it's a scarecrow, and all of a sudden somebody jumps up and goes, ah,
Get shot
when
with silly string.
yeah, right. And it's like, so that whole experience. And now, if it's the only way someone was able to, you know, get their kid to go trick or treat, then hey, I'm all for it. But if you had the opportunity to actually take your kids to a neighborhood rather than just driving up to the school or the church, then I would say, do that. I think there's some lazy parents out there too who just don't feel like walking a few blocks either.
Yeah, I think that's probably got a lot to do with it.
Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's cold here, sometimes it's warm here, but
yeah, tomorrow it's supposed to be pretty, but what's it going to do tomorrow? It's going to rain. It's always got to rain on or around Halloween here. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but it seems like it always rains on Halloween. And even though I don't really have plans to go out and really do anything, like it's still disappointing. So the trunk or treat thing though, I would rather, if that's all the kids got, I would rather them do that than do nothing and at least get some of the experience. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Turk says it right here. I had to say, growing up in the mid 70s, 80s, these kids sure missed the hell of an experience. So absolutely. Derek says, my senior year in high school, we had a blizzard and got a foot of snow and I'm not a proponent of the postponing Halloween, but I think in that case, I probably would not disagree with it.
Yeah, I'm curious though, when something like that happens, how many people actually end up going out on the postponement date? Like they just don't go, yeah, whatever, we missed it. Who cares?
Yeah. And Joseph says, I got my first place. There was a clock tower that played Tubular Bells late at night. Just step the faster bit home.
Yeah.
Bit faster home. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, Tubular Bells, man. That's all the themes. Like tubular, the two that will give me a little bit of chill is Tubular Bells, and if you're in the right environment, Jaws. Jaws is still you just can't beat the Jaws. I say those are the three: Jaws, Halloween, and Tubular Bells. Exorcist are probably the best. Clint makes a good point. They start around October 20th, so kids get to go to 5 or 6 of them. We'll see if you're going to 2 or 3 of them or whatever. But then Halloween night you go trick or treating. I could condone that. That's a win for the kids. But them parents, man, like dragging them all that whole time,
that takes a lot, getting them together, getting them ready, going, and all that. I know that's for some people. That's like, nah, we ain't going through this whole thing.
Plus, a lot of costumes, especially kids' costumes, they're going to be a one-time use thing, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but also too, with parents, I mean, how much candy do you want your kids to have? I mean, it depends on the age. I know as my son got older, I didn't give a crap, but when he was younger, it was like, okay, he can't eat all of this stuff.
Hey man, it's like the U.S. government. The more they make, the more you make with that parent tax, though.
Yeah, right.
Going through picking out all the good stuff and leaving all the colored rolled up taffy.
Yeah. That's like getting a Russell Stovers and sticking your finger in each one of them to figure out which one has the green, the pink, and the cream colored crap.
I like the pistachio ones.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll leave them in the box, but I'm like, oh yeah, this one's chocolate. This one's got peanuts.
There's a little more disappointing than a couple days after the event going to get a Russell Stover out of the box and some bitch is taking a bite out of all the ones that are left in the box.
Or the ones somebody put their finger in to figure out what's inside of it.
Or that. So,
like me.
Again, tricks for the bar, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, right.
Oh man. So you want to talk about some G.I. Joe stuff?
Yeah, let's hop to it. What do you say?
All right, I'm going to actually open this tab here so I can make sure I got everything that I want in this folder, and we're going to go through some of these really quick, and we're going to talk about some of them for a minute or two. So we've already all, given thoughts on this guy a few times. Dial tone, like This wave, like he's a definite pickup, right? Like everybody's looking forward
He
to
is, but
Dalton.
go back a picture. Go back to that. Doesn't his legs look really skinny? Doesn't that look weird to you right there? I mean,
Leg day.
it's got to be the angle, but still, like, doesn't that look? That looks mighty odd to me for some reason. I don't know.
Somebody else mentioned that he does seem like he is a swimmer character.
I mean,
like
seriously, like the legs are. Look at his arms, and then look at the leg. Look at that leg size.
I think it's the angle.
It's got to be the angle, but still, like it just really looks odd. Like right there.
Well, I mean,
I saw. I mean, I love this guy, so whatever.
When you're taking pictures as a dude, angle is important. So
yeah, that's
they
true.
They got the wrong one for dial tone.
That's why all the girls take the pictures on Instagram and stuff from up here too, right?
That's right. Instant cleavage.
Right.
There's the backpack that I still maintain looks like a fireplace. I like it. No, don't mean I don't like it, but I think it looks like a fireplace.
I mean, it does resemble the original. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it does.
It looks
because I mean, the original you can only make out of it so much, right? It's got little, molding here or there. It's you just pretend that this is something, and this is something, right? But
these guys are the versions that we, the characters we had that we wish they do the things that we wish they did. The guns,
right?
Actually come out of the leg holsters and all
that
stuff,
right?
So I do have some newer ones mixed in. Obviously, we have not really talked about Frag Viper.
No, not really.
What are your thoughts? You didn't have him as a kid, right?
No, I did not. I think this figure is quite unremarkable, to be honest with you. I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm not saying people that really like it, I'm, nothing bad about it. I just think it's a rather unremarkable figure. He's
bland. He's very bland.
Yeah. I mean, from an accessory standpoint, there's a couple, different things. Right. But, overall, there's really nothing about this figure that I'm like, heck yes, I can't wait to see this guy. I mean, it's just not.
I dig the mask. I like the way that they did his mask. I'm curious, what does this plug into his sash?
Like, what the fuck?
It's like he's the Cobra Homecoming Queen.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, getting the red rose.
Oh man, the Cobra Bachelor.
Well, what is that? What is that?
That's his grenade. That's like he's throwing it out of his little
I knew those were like throw effects or
Yeah.
whatever, but I couldn't quite tell it. The color of it is a little weird. It's a little darker maybe than I would have anticipated for the effect.
Yeah, and the original figure's not like super attractive. Like it's not great of a figure. Right. I've got him.
Yeah.
And this is his Punk mentioned his ball launching. I got those things you can launch tennis balls for your dog. That's all I see when I look at it after I heard him say that. So we were looking at these guys the other day on his Derek's
Bag Viper's a hard pass. I mean, look, I'm a sucker. I pre-order probably most all of them. There's been a few that I've passed up, but I know I did probably not only have but will order guys that I'm not crazy about.
Same here. I'll probably get Frag Viper. Just depends on where I'm at in like if I skip him, or pick him up later. Yeah.
That's funny.
Depends on just where I'm at with stuff whenever he drops.
No,
so a lot's happened since I got this slide.
Yeah. Yes, it has actually. And obviously, he's already gone up.
I was trying to check and see how many pictures I saved of him. I didn't save many of these guys. So he went up yesterday, right?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. Which I mean, look, I like the figure. He's a good looking figure. I think all the other stuff's goofy, but it is, he
I
did
like him.
have the
Oh, go ahead.
contraption, back in the day. And so, if you had this guy back then, you had the whole get up. And so they're trying to kind of mimic all that. I get it.
I like this part of him here, like this side. This side, not so much, but this side,
Yeah, yeah, me
I
too.
like this side.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
a
with you.
good looking figure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he looks like a badass. I like the backwards cap, the head, say headphones, but you know what I mean.
yeah, the
Um,
hearing protection thing,
yeah,
which
yeah.
fortunately they gave this guy.
But I mean, yeah, I like the figure, but I'm with you. I don't care so much for the other part. It reminds me of like Avatar for some reason.
Yeah, because I didn't get any screenshots of him all geared up. Honestly, with him all geared up, it looks a little less bad, except the blast effects and the neon rockets really stand out. And I do like, there's one picture that I wish I'd have gone back and got, but I forgot, and it's one of the new ones that they released, and that's Derek. That is exactly where I'm going with this.
Right.
There's a picture of him just holding this commando, Arnold Schwarzenegger commando style with the quad rocket launcher. That picture makes me like, that's selling me on him more than getting any of this other crap, is
Right.
being able to remove these. So kudos to Hasbro for at least thinking that far ahead and making these being able to use. They got little handles down here.
Yeah.
So what's that say? Quad burst, quad beast, beast
Got
or burst?
some kind of serial number. No,
Well,
hang on,
it
hang on, hang
burst,
on.
I believe.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Oh, either. But I did not pre-order this guy. I'll probably end up getting him, but I'm just not at a point where I want to spend $35 on this dude. I don't have him.
You don't need to pre-order him,
No, no,
right?
this dude will be rotting at Target unless they make half the amount of what they make of everything else.
Man,
Um,
there was a time here in the last, year and a half, 2 years where it's like you felt like you had to pre-order everything or you wasn't going to get it, right?
yeah,
And then you had to wait for a while, and then it
that's that weaponized FOMO, man. You order
right.
them all. We're
But
gonna lie to you
now,
about how many there's gonna be.
yeah, at this point, it's so wishy-washy. It's so wishy-washy, and it's like, it's still you don't want to take a chance on missing out, but
Yeah,
like,
if it's somebody, it's like I'll mimic what Lawrence says, what Punk says. If it's something that you like and you want, order it when it goes up. You're not going
right,
to be getting charged for it immediately in most cases.
right.
Um, order it when it goes up. If it's something you like, don't chance it. If it's something you can live without and you might get it later, pass. But if it's a character that you want, you better get it while the getting's good, because we just don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And usually I'm right there as soon as they go up, right? As soon as the time, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, it's going up at noon, it's going up at 1, whatever time it is, your local time. And yeah, I'm right there. But I do understand where I've had the talk recently that people having to rearrange their day. Not everybody has the ability to sit there and all of a sudden go, "Oh yeah, hang on, I've got to go jump on my phone so I can pre-order this GI Joe figures." Not everybody's in that has that
Yeah.
ability to do that,
Yeah.
and so that's where the all of a sudden the thing sold out 30 minutes after it went up.
Yeah. If you don't have the opportunity, or you just, like you say, you forget,
That's
um,
that's the that's the part that I'm starting to have more and more of a problem with. It hasn't affected me, but it doesn't mean I can't see that as a problem for some people. So,
we changed Todd's mind. Surprisingly, a must get for me now. Well, guess what, Todd?
yeah.
He ain't sold out, and he probably
Yeah,
ain't never
you
gonna
ain't gotta
be.
worry about it.
So,
That brother's
um,
gonna be on the shelf.
yeah, he not going nowhere. I do think he's a good looking figure.
Yeah,
I
I
like
do
the
too.
bull necklace. I like everything about him other than the rig.
Yeah.
He's kind of goofy. So Leatherneck, general consensus, we all really like Larry Neck.
Well, if he comes with the clear skateboard or the snowboard, I'm cool with that too.
I thought that was like bubble gum or sticky tack. I'm like, how'd they leave that on there?
I'm like, what's that? A clear skateboard? What is
Yeah.
it?
Damn, like the most unattractive stands. I think these might
Those
be
are
some
ugly as shit.
maybe some of the photographers use where they kind of bury the feet
Sure.
and do shots or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're not very good looking stands. But either way, he doesn't come with the stands.
Come on, man. Who doesn't like Leatherneck? I'm sorry, man. Like that's just, that's the, you gotta love this guy. I mean, I always loved this guy. He wasn't my favorite figure by any means, but I was a sucker for this look back in the day, back in the 80s. It's that classic, marine look. All the 80s war movies and shit that came out had somebody like this.
No, he screams this figure. He screams his personality in the cartoon. He's just like this old salty.
Yeah.
He's like Cup in the Transformers movie, like he's just this old salty vet and like, go on, do your shit, get out of my way. I won't shoot you long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, so I like, he's not my favorite character either, but yeah, I mean, you need him in your Joe collection. Mendoza, Hasbro doesn't charge you until they're there and they ship. So, Frank, where'd you go? Frank Dumont, what is going on? Happy Hallows Eve, buddy.
You know what? And what I think about is Triple C, Crimson Cobra Commander. He commented that Leatherneck and Wetsuit was a funny duo. Aren't they like in that one cartoon where they turn into like cartoon versions of themselves? Is that not Wetsuit and Leatherneck? And I think they're even on the thumbnail for that. If you look that cartoon up from the show, I think they're like the thumbnail of it.
Once Upon a Joe.
Well, yeah, Once Upon a Joe. And I want to say, I think, yes, it literally has Leatherneck, Wetsuit, and Shipwreck in the background. If you type that up on your phone or you Google Once Upon a Joe, it literally comes up with those three characters.
Yeah. That's an acid dropping episode.
Yeah, right.
Watch that one, man. That's and the voices, they got those really high pitched. So, what's up, the Legend series?
Legends,
pretty guys talking toys. Hello,
that's
friends.
right.
What's going on? Yeah,
the Legend, ladies and gentlemen.
The Legend is here. We got everybody's favorite orthodontist here.
Did you Leather Daddy? I did. Okay. Why not? I haven't, but you know that. But why not? It's like
I did not order him. I did not order anybody from this wave.
Okay.
So I guess that kind of spoilers for when we get to the next one.
Crown Fox. I'm a Southern redneck queen fox. That's what I am today. I'm a redneck wife.
Rawr. Well, that's not the sound a fox makes. Hey, what does the fox say? Ring a ding ding a ding ding ding. You're all welcome. That's all in your heads now. I will revisit it for the Christmas stream.
I know, right? Derek, and both of us have the SDCC one too. I ordered him. Whatever. I like the retro cards, man. They remind me of my childhood.
I don't dislike this figure, but the one I have is fine for me. I do like the
more than enough.
I don't need him again.
Right.
They didn't change anything other than a couple colors and take some stuff away. So that's kind of my line in the sand on the retro cards. If I get them, like if I got one I didn't have for Christmas or something, cool. I mean, I'm not going to be upset, but like I'm gonna buy a new figure, a new sculpt or something over one of these guys.
Sure.
Like I still have the retro eel and the snow serpent. Saw them today, and I still don't have those guys. Those guys are they're cash grabs, and there's like beachhead, sure, but this, no, not for me. But if people want him, you guys like him, you bought him, I'm glad they made him for you. A lot of people didn't get a chance to get him, so
he'll be at my Blue Oyster Bar diorama.
I was trying to think of something that's sad. Legend series is here. I bet he could probably have that ready for you by the weekend.
He might be able to. Oh, my lipstick's getting all over my coffee cup thingy.
Am I gonna spend more time on a screen with somebody constantly applying lipstick or chapstick? Chapstick per se, perhaps. I wonder how many tubes of chapstick Punk went through during that stream.
Oh Lord.
I forgot to ask him that, but I think he actually forgot to do it a lot, honestly. That was a good time. So let's see who's next here. So we got our OG retro rock and roll.
Now I will take. Look, I might cancel Mindbender, but I'll keep rock and roll.
Yeah, if I was going to order like one of the two, somebody said, "Hey, you got to order one of the two of these." I'm probably going to order rock and roll because
gotta love the green shirt, man. Come on.
At least the colors,
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm fine with the other rock and roll because he's a good mix of V1 and V2.
Yeah, I love him, but I appreciate having the green shirts.
But this one, like, he comes like literally like nothing other than just different colored stuff. Like he looks good. I'm not saying he don't look good. I mean, rock and roll is one of the best. Definitely one of the best head sculpts in the line. He's one of the best overall figures in the line.
Yeah, he made our top 10 last year. Right?
Oh yes, for sure.
So we got to have another top 10 list this year.
Yeah, he's so good. He might make the top 10 list this year.
Baby old mastermind bender. There you go. See, Miss Joseph knows what I'm talking about.
He knows what's happening. So one more rock and roll.
There you go.
Psy Viper.
Now you say so you did not order Saw Viper.
I did. I ordered 2 Saw Viper.
Oh, you did? Because you said you didn't order anybody out of this wave.
Well, I meant the retro cards.
The
3 retro cards.
Okay, so yeah, so Saw Viper again for me. Okay. Did I order him? Yes, but I'm not. There's nothing about this figure that thrills me, to be honest with you. Just doesn't. But I'll take him.
Very, very underrated or underwhelming for me.
I mean, just seems like it. Nothing stands out about this figure to me. But for some people, they're okay. They like that.
Well,
the little Ryobi head trimmer, right, Bobby? Yeah.
This is one of the guys that, like, I had him way built up in my mind because I've mentioned it several times. He was my most look forward to whatever Viper, and I think they kind of did him dirty. I think that's that head underneath the helmet. He looks like a generic Spider-Man goon, and none of these pictures here actually had that in there, so I don't have a picture of it, but you guys saw it anyway. I think most everybody probably ordered it. He's again, very few figures do I start mixing and matching and customizing. I'm just not that guy with my figures. One of mine, I might be seeking out an alternate head so I can turn him into Overkill. And I do have what will be his replacement weapon on the way whenever he shows up. It is on the way now, so I'll be showing that off probably sometime next week. So
I gotta Everybody that comes in, they think you're dressed up like a woman. They also think you're dressed up like a woman. Everyone's like, "Hey, ladies, what's up?" And I'm like, "Shit."
This is the gender swap episode.
Oh my God,
What's
Joe
up, Crow?
Exotic. Joe Exotic. Oh, and redneck wife, but everybody that comes in is like, "Hey, ladies."
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's so funny.
What's going on, Krusty old Crow,
Oh
buddy?
shit. Oh, love it. Love it.
All
Love
right.
it. Love it.
Let's move right along. There's our new Viper again. Surprised some people that I didn't order this guy. You ordered him, I know.
Yeah.
This is another one that a lot of people didn't get to get, and it's not a
Yeah.
very good figure.
Yeah.
So this is a retooling. So hopefully this Viper will not have funky loose hips, but a lot of those Cobra Island guys did. They hadn't figured out the drop down hip yet.
Right.
I do not have open Cobra Island Vipers. I've never opened mine because I've got the 3-pack and it's the same thing. So
Yeah, it's a damn shame too.
I just they're there. I might open them someday, but for now, alas, I don't need these guys on the shelf when I got 6 other ones.
Right. No, it's understandable. I mean,
He's a good looking figure though, and I'm very glad they molded those stupid goggles to his helmet.
Yeah. This is one of those things. I guess in a way, you keep looking and you think, okay, cool. The retro is cool, but I mean, are we going to do every figure that we've gotten in a retro and go? You know what I mean? Like, is that the plan? I mean, are we just going to double them all up then? And we're going to just double them all up, and then, yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And even if some of the ones that you've got in the classified that aren't much different, you're going to get another figure that isn't much different than that in the retro, like we've already seen. And I think
that's what I'm afraid
I don't like that. I don't like that plan of action. And then on top of that, it might be 8 months before you get the son of a bitch.
Yeah. But look at something like the V2, the Storm Shadow that nobody has yet other than people that have found him at Walmart. Krusty Old Crow just put up a very good video on that figure, so go check that out. Not now, later when we're done, go check out that. Right. But Crow got him, and like that's one obviously that they designed that figure, and they're clearly planning to do a retro version because Matthew, if he's still listening, he's probably going to point out that the swords are on the wrong side and the hood's not removable. And so I do not like that they are designing new figures, new sculpts, whatever, with the fact in mind that they're just going to do it again and give us what it should have been to start with, and sell it to us again. I guess it's smart for them, but kind of turns me off of it. So we got our boy Xandar here, round out some more of our dreadnoughts. So this is, to me, the best looking figure in this wave of figures.
He looks good. Detail, the gold, the boots on the left foot, but the shoes are backwards though. They look backwards to me.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like that foot, the right foot, the shoe should be on the left foot, and
you're saying he needs to put the shoe on the other foot, huh?
Dude, seriously, that shit looks weird.
It
does from this angle. It does from this angle. It looks like it's like the toes are facing the wrong way on the right foot. But either way, I like the details. You got paint app on the buckle, paint app on the end of the left boot. You've got the pauldron. You've got the glove, right? Or whatever.
It's not. It's not hard at all to look at the figures, the 4-figure setup from this wave, and see where the money was spent.
Right.
They clearly spent it on Xandar, which is an interesting choice with V2 Storm Shadow and and Saw Viper and Alpine, who should have had way more gear.
Yeah, that's it's that's the thing, man. Like it's kind of disappointing, you know. I mean, especially with Alpine, you know, I don't understand why you don't from a gear perspective. I mean, the stuff that you could do with him. But I mean, it's you know, he looks fine, but you could definitely tell Xandar. I mean, they put some work into this figure, and the scar goes down from the down the face, down the neck,
and we were looking at
body,
it,
right?
yeah. And when I was looking at this with Punk the other day, like I blew this up, and so he's even got the makeup or tattoo, whatever it is, goes all the way under the vest. They said there was something under the vest, so I'm guessing his
nipples,
deco, his nipples. He's got this paint actually circles both of his areolas.
Lovely.
And then it goes down and makes a smiley face.
Yes, big eyeballs and a treasure trail.
It's just saying what I heard, and you know, this on the internet is probably
treasure trail.
Raptor happy trail.
Treasure trail.
Raptor, man, Raptor's a BMF, dude. He ain't no joke.
Oh, just wait till you hear about his movie.
Oh, damn, he's got a movie coming out. I cannot wait.
Yes, sir.
Says is
a tragedy. It's a tragic love story. Tragic love story.
Oh, we're gonna have to get to that soon. Because these are gonna be fun, y'all. Crow says Nunchuck came with 2 left feet. It happens.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a movie about dancing, wasn't it?
Yeah, right. Just looking at the mold, it just looks like he's got like the feet are the boots are molded the wrong way. If you look at shoes the way they normally are, and
those look like comfortable.
They look like the right foot. If you look at it, that should be a boot on the left side with the buckle on the outside, and the buckle on this side on the left foot should be the buckle on the outer part of the right foot. Does that make sense? Now, somebody tell me they have buckles on both sides. Is that correct? That don't make any sense as far as a boot is concerned, why there would be buckles on the left and right sides of the boot.
Well, yeah, I mean, you see here, buckles on the left, buckles on the right.
I know, but like even down low, it's like so because the idea of a buckle is to pull a strap over to tighten it and then put it in the fixture, right, in the buckle.
Yeah.
So if you had then where does the other side go if it's buckled in too? Like it's, you know what I mean? It does.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about freaking toys, so
no, I know, but I'm just saying, like when you look at it, it's kind of weird. It's like, okay, it's got buckles on both sides. All right, I've never seen shoes with buckles on both sides.
Frank says correct buckle should show outside, and Derek creepy knowing that his bandana's from Zorana's shirt. So I don't know what kind of relationship they had, but
that's weird. They're obviously promoting some Southern
as we sit here and drag
family traditions. In the very rural part,
family tradition.
I gotta take this wig off soon. This thing is killing me.
Oh, see, I'm comfortable in mine.
I'm not. It's scratching the crap out of my freaking head.
I have I bought a wig cap though. I've got a wig cap on under it. So
yeah, I saw some at I think Walmart yesterday, but I didn't get it because I didn't think I'd be wearing a wig for one. So I'm like, why get a wig cap?
If you lose the wig, you got to keep the boobs. That's
right.
The rule. That's the rule. So here's repaint Viper. What's it? Trench Viper, Alley Viper. I actually do like the look of this figure. Got the urban digital.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like it.
So went up for pre-order. You did you pre-order this? Chat, did you guys pre-order it? I'm guessing most everybody did.
I would say so. I would assume.
Well, I have this appropriate labeled. It is the battle toilet.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, I mean, look, what else? I mean, what else? Can you really say it's it's a little accessory thing they can, you know, do with it what you will. It's another way for them to put the price up a little bit. Um,
And speaking of price, I have to say though, I am pleasantly surprised that this was a $55 price point because I thought for sure it was going to be 75.
Really,
So, yeah, I thought this was going to be a $75 set like the
I don't
text
know.
missile was.
That's
And
75 for just this building and sandbags. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, and we're talking about Hasbro, so we just talked about them trying to sell us the same figure with a slightly different shade of purple. So
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, look, they know they're not dumb. They know that
yeah,
like no matter what, people they're gonna be like, hell yeah, it's something else, something I don't have. It's something new, right?
yeah. And Derek says right here, we need more play sets in
There you go.
classified.
There you go.
This will be what determines how well this sells. Will be what we get and how soon we get them. And Derek also says he pre-ordered 2. Crimson Cobra Commander got 6.
Yeah, I
Wow,
saw that.
I can't wait to see because you
But
can stack them, right? They showed a picture later of them stacked.
yeah, but isn't there an issue with that? Is that not because I know we
I think
talked
it looks
about
like a carrying case.
we
with
talked
them
about it
stacked up.
last night, but I could have sworn Matthew said something about that as far as stacking them. And I could be very wrong, but I could have swore he mentioned some kind of issue with trying to stack them. I did want to highlight this real quick though. Menjo's a parking lot Viper validating tickets for Cobra. That's pretty funny. It's like your
Should have come in a
checkpoint
two pack with Motor Viper.
Yeah, right.
That's a figure I want.
So look, I like this fireman figure. You know, there's not a whole lot you can really say about it, right? I mean, I don't know what it is what it is. It looks fine. It's legacy collection. There it's
I like this guy. Like this is I like this.
Fine.
I like this guy more than I like the sniper or the Halo jumper. This opens up a big door for directions they can go.
Sure.
So we get and we get Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. I mean, no, I like the figure just fine. I mean, I don't think it's just amazing, blow me away, it's the coolest thing since Blowtorch, but I like him fine. I love this guy.
Comes with a lot of stuff. I like
it does come with a lot of stuff. Yeah, exactly.
The accessories are dope. Comes with the tool, the 2 sledgehammers, 3 axes, jaws of life,
and the mask. I think the mask.
Yeah.
And
we determined it is a different mask than what Blowtorch comes with. So before we saw Blowtorch, we just knew this was going to be his mask, and Blowtorch actually has a different mask.
Yeah. I mean, I like it just fine. Like I said, I mean, again, it's one of the nameless, right? It's a nameless figure, so there's no identity there.
Background character, or
sure.
How many people are firefighters or have parents that are firefighters, and that's something. How many dentist office do you go in and they've got the dentist Barbie?
Right.
I service one for work, and every little whatever they're called, dental cubicle, dental station, every one of them has got a dentist Barbie in it. So I could see that for the firefighter.
Yeah. I do love Footloose though.
Crow.
I'm all about all about this guy. It's like Turk Murphy's. Yeah. I mean, I love this guy when he was in the Real American Hero line. and it wasn't like there was anything crazy special about him, right? He wasn't a featured player so much in the cartoons. He wasn't, it's just a good old camo army fig guy, with the special helmet, right? That
a lot of people are waiting for Footloose.
Yeah.
So,
he reminds me of that time period. It's that classic look.
Good addition. So he's gonna sell well. I think ultimately he'll be easy to get, but most of the named figures are. So here we got Snake Eyes. Now I did mention that I wouldn't mind having this Snake Eyes.
Gimme. I want it.
I said there were only 2 other versions of Snake Eyes I ever wanted, and that was Vietnam before his accident and Unmasked with after his accident face. But I'll probably make an exception to get this look from Mass Device.
Gotta have it. That's all I gotta say about that.
And then Joe the Polar Bear sells it at Polar Bear is badass. Now it's not, Mythic Legions has got a bear fixing to drop, but that's a whole nother ball game. You're talking apples and oranges.
Yeah.
I thought somebody probably put that in the chat somewhere. So go ahead.
I definitely don't think anybody's going, well, I don't know. I mean, it's I can only choose one. It's either this one or the Mythic Legions. It's like, nobody's making that decision.
But so this looks good. He's got the irradiated hands.
Got the bear trap. It's cool.
Yeah, they get the trap. Got
the radiation the radiation shit from the capsule and come on, man, like how can you not like that shit? That's right on the money, baby. The only thing they could have done is maybe had the color a little more like the cartoon, right?
Yeah, just a little lighter. Yeah, I think he looks good though. That's
yeah, he does.
Good looking set. I'm curious to see what other Mass Device stuff we'll get.
What the hell? Hang on, zoom in on that summit again. The bear piece. What the hell is that up top on the right?
You got arrows like for his hide or something. It's a swappable piece.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out because I had not really looked at it that closely, and I'm like, what is that? Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Bear's seen some things, man. He's
got one eye, blind, the scar across it.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. So there's a boy. He's coming.
He's also got a movie treatment.
Oh man, I can't wait. We gotta get to it. So we're kind of blowing through these because we've all seen them and given our thoughts.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I know. Elaborating on them. So they've knocked these stupid characters out of the park, and I'm sure that they're going to give us something awesome with Crystal Ball. Just whatever you do, don't make him some kind of damn deluxe figure just to sell him to us.
No, but
it worked with Raptor. But,
well, I was going to say, and it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't find some way to do that, and evolve the lore of this character. Like, Raptor was an unknown, right? And then they gave him a name. Like, his file card says unknown, right? So, but he has a name now, and his bird has a name and all that. So, I don't know if we'll get
last day of early voting is tomorrow, folks.
That's right.
What's going on? Lawrence, a punk with toys. Thanks for popping in for a few minutes, fresh off his 36-hour stream and regular Monday.
Getting some rest.
Yeah, and regular Monday night stream that was only about 20 minutes shorter than normal. So
yeah.
You did a good job with the streamathon punk. So everybody enjoyed that. So we got him coming.
Yeah, I'm just saying maybe they expand the lore, maybe, if that's what they want to do. And if they do that and make it a deluxe figure or a somewhat of a deluxe figure, I could totally see that happening. They have done a good job with these weird kooky characters that we got, back in the day. And they're not stupid. They know what's at stake with some of these guys. So like they have to try to be a little creative and also pay attention to detail to get, to make these figures look really good. And so far they have. And I don't think they'll do anything different with Crystal Ball. I think they probably will knock him out of the park. I really do.
I think and I hope that they will go one of two ways. They'll go more with the IDW Rasputin look, and
okay,
also he could. Somebody saw it. I saw it. Somebody said, Frank, Crystal Ball looks to be a retro fig, and maybe he will be. That would be a good way to put him out. But if he's in the regular classified line, I think maybe they will do the IDW treatment, make him look a little more like Rasputin, or maybe by the time that he comes out, that there is an introduction in the new Energon universe and whatever, if they put him in there, because he'll fit. I mean, you've read the books. Most of the chat's probably read the books. He will 100% fit in that lore, so maybe they'll do that with him. But again, a character that I love the look and I like the mythos and stuff, but
I thought he was dumb as hell when we were
kids. He was dumb. He's a very dumb character.
When we were kids, it was like, what are you gonna do with this motherfucker? Hypnotize him? Like, get the fuck out of here. He don't fit into G.I. Joe, just like Raptordon and just like Boadon. So, but I like the Vincent Price. I'm a horror guy, so I like the homage to Vincent Price. So maybe they'll keep that. I don't know, but we're getting him, so we'll see. I can't wait to see what they do with the disc,
Yeah, they're going to do something funky with it.
Right. So, look at
Dark Lawn.
Good God almighty.
Introduced already in the universe, and if you read Destro number 5, know you're going to be seeing some more of that guy. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. We knew he was coming from the Weibo leak a while back that showed his gun, and there's only one person that could belong to. So I'm wondering if we will get his evader with him, because that would be a good $55 price point vehicle.
Right.
Possibly Red Shadows and Classified.
Maybe so.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. I've never I never followed that. I've learned more about that as an adult than I ever knew about the Palatoy stuff when I was a kid. They brought it over in IDW. Yeah. Maybe, but you've got Fresh Monkey Fiction doing the Red Shadows or Crimson Moon guys.
Right.
So I don't know. I wouldn't snub my nose at it. I guess if they brought it over, I'd have to see it and see how they bring it.
I think it might be a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That will be that won't. I don't think that'll be scraping the barrel, but it's getting down pretty low. You're down to the bunghole if they're mining that. So
yeah.
Dark Lawn has the possibility to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Crow says they lost me with Dark Lawn's popularity. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know a lot about this guy.
Yeah,
I personally, I don't. I just
he appeared. He appeared, kind of late when he showed up, and I had him. I don't ever remember having his evader thing, but I somehow wound up with the figure. He's a cool figure. So
is he part robot? That right leg looks wacko. In that art,
he has a I think that's a pouch and a ring of grenades, as everybody should wear when they go into battle.
Brother ain't got no knee on his. He ain't got no right knee. Brother's leg just goes straight up to the thigh, man.
It's like Major Blood's arm. So, all right,
how's that brother walk, man?
with a limp, motherfucker.
Dark long got a dark limp.
Dark Slong. So here we are, the nod that we're getting another version of Snake Eyes.
I don't like this. I do not
hate
repeat. I hate this version of Snake Eyes.
V4. I hate it.
I truly do not like this. And I always remember seeing that big doll, the big like 12-inch doll with the real clothes. You know what I'm talking about? You see them at flea markets all the time because they ain't worth a shit. And it's always this son of a bitch right here. This is that big 12-inch doll or what. I see him all the time. I can't remember what the name of that little line is, but there it looks like a doll box, and he comes in it, and that's the version. And that version's ugly as shit.
Yeah, I don't. If somebody likes it, good for you.
No,
I'm glad you're getting it.
Yeah.
I will not
have at it. I have at it. I just don't. I do not like Hall of Fame. That's it. Joe Fan 84 says I have it. See, I see that thing all the time, man, when I go to the flea market, and I'm just like, I can't pull the trigger. But I know that, like, there are people out there who do, or that was the one that they had, right? So they weren't born as early and then coming up, and they're like, this is my Snake Eyes. So I totally get it. But for me, it's like after going through so many versions, especially in classifieds, but like them, First Commando and 1, 2, even 3, but like this is kind of where I draw the line for me personally. This does not look like the Snake Eyes that I know. I just don't, I don't know who this person is. Now, conversely, Arctic Storm Shadow looks like a Storm Shadow that I could buy into. I do like that figure. Why? Couldn't tell you. But I really don't. I just don't like this blue.
No, I'm not. I didn't have this version, and I was still collecting when this version came out, and I was like, nah, bro, that ain't Snake Eyes. No. Yeah. But like Joe Fan says, that's what Snake Eyes was to me. I grew up in the Dick series, so I'm glad you're getting him because that's probably the one that you've been wanting. So,
well, that's really what it's all about, right? It's kind of like, you wait until you find that one, that you like, but we're all that way. I mean, it's like I said, I have strong opinions, and I will let it be known what I think. But don't let that dissuade anybody from, obviously buying or doing whatever the hell they want. Take my opinion with a grain of salt.
Right. So we got this, most likely the All Striker. It's kind of been rumored for a while now. I think I mean, there's a couple things it could be, but that screams All Striker to me.
92, Easter of 92. Hey, Joe
been out that long.
Got that Hall of Fame for Easter 92. You still have it, and that's awesome. Holy moly!
Frostbite says, I don't know what your problem is with dolls, Pop Blender. Looks like you should be right into them.
Oh no! Listen, it's just for the cameras, honey.
That's right. Oh, did he? Matthew McLeod confirmed it the other day on the All Striker. So good to know it was finally confirmed. I didn't see that.
There you go. God damn these wigs. Fucking things.
We're going to take a break in just a minute and you can change your look.
Yeah, no, I'm going to. Yeah. The headphones. Unfortunately, I tried to make it so that I could try to put them without the thing, but it's like there's no way to do it. So, for those of you that are enjoying this look, and I know there's some of you out there, don't you lie. Enjoy it for the next 10 minutes.
I'll full screen him before he goes to take this off.
So you can see my black eyes.
Yep. So here's Blowtorch finally getting him.
Give it to me.
I think he looks great. It's a kind of a departure from the Real American Hero, but he is in line with one of the later ones. I think
he's not as yellow.
The 40th anniversary, and he's got all the little sticky, ports all over there. So I think he looks good. I hope his Blowtorch is made out of better plastic than Torch's is, because it's awful.
Yes, I do. Frostbite. God damn it.
Yeah, you do that. You just do that. I don't want to know about it.
Oh,
that's all I need.
Right
Crow,
in mid sentence.
Crow said he can feed milk to 8 baby blowtorches.
Shit is weird though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, because it is a little. I'm like, what is that shit for? I don't know. Is that normal? Does it? Are those concealing
like
like
he's
burn
looks
gel?
like he's got
Is it?
a
Can you hook him
6-pack.
up and blow him up to like make him all big and like a nutty professor or something and let him float away? I don't know. Like I'm just trying, I don't know what that's for. You're right. It does look like he's got the top of the six pack cans.
He's got a 6-pack.
He's got some
Bush
Light
Coors built in.
He got some Peavers stuck in his suit. I mean, I don't know what that is. I do like it. So look, I get it. This is toned down from the original. The original was much more yellow, and the orange, like it was brighter. It was a brighter yellow. It was more yellow. Period. This has more of the red or whatever color that is built in.
Yeah.
And so it's muted. It's more muted, and so it's cool. I would have preferred the other, but I'm sure we're gonna get one. I'm sure we're gonna get a retro carded blowtorch.
Wide open for a retro card right here. Joe Fan says, I wish they'd make a Sergeant Flash. Let's see. Funny foam dispensers could be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what
fire
that
grenades.
Is until we get some kind of confirmation about it. Yeah, Frank, exactly. More yellow. Just wait for the retro. Yeah, we're gonna get the retro for sure.
Yeah. Well, if we get a confirmation, it will be whatever live stream Lenny shows it to us is what the hell this is supposed to be. So, seen that dude. So
he's on the way. I got my shipping notification. He's out. He's on the road right now.
He is on the way. DHL, have not checked mine. I don't know where he is. I think right here, just this look, I think he looks good. I don't care. Cobra Law, I like the Energon Universe version, and in my head, Cobra Law takes place in some kind of alternate dimension.
Yeah.
I don't like the other head for him. I don't like that head right there.
No, I don't care for that either.
I might change my mind when I see it in person in 2 weeks when DHL brings it.
What I want to know, and I know everybody obviously here can educate me on this, and I know I could obviously just Google it because I can't remember. What is the deal with the Enforcer Immortal deal? What's the deal with that? Why can he not be called Nemesis Enforcer?
I don't think it's ever been confirmed.
It's a rights issue. Somebody owns it. I mean, who else would own it? Who would own it?
That is what I have seen asked 50 times: is who else would own that trademark?
Who owns the shit? Then that's my thing. I'm like, I just it's weird. I just don't understand. You would think, but of course. Maybe I don't know. I really don't. I don't understand. But it's really hard for me to not say Nemesis Enforcer every time I talk and look at about this character. Is every time. I think
this is gonna be Enforcer for everybody. So Frank says his is Monday. Derek says Tuesday. Matthew says Tuesday. I'll get my Ami Japan DHL package sooner. Did I say that right, Matthew?
I need to download the DHL app, I guess, because I got a message from PayPal telling me like it was like, hey, your order's on the way, and it shipped, and it showed what city it's in. Let's see here. Oh, mine. Wait a minute. Mine's coming United States Postal Service.
Well, it come through DHL. I mean and then they give it to the post office.
Okay, because mine's in Kentucky.
Okay, well, you'll have yours. If it's in Kentucky and post office already has it, you should probably have it Friday.
It is DHL, but it's in Kentucky. So who knows? Maybe the next couple of days. But
Matthew says Risk of Rain has a Nemesis Enforcer, so maybe Hasbro's trademark on it expired, and then they picked that up.
Yeah,
Same thing. Triple
Maybe that
Crimson
shit's
Cobra Commander says.
really weird to me that a game that has no connection whatsoever, right? You know, it's not even the
Yeah.
same thing.
We
You know,
get
but
this
go figure.
this little pleasure device here that we learned is actually technically a pet.
I don't
Thank
even
you,
want to
Winnie.
say what I was gonna say.
I man, like 6 at once, buddy, 8 at once. So
Cobra la 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 la. Hey,
Cobra ooh la la.
like
Am
Gun
I
Ho
right?
Dr. Mind Member agents of the cult of the Boy Oyster, leading others to their doom.
And we do have an oyster or a clam.
And then you look at this thing on the screen.
Dun, 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 dun.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh wow. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't, you know.
Yes, Crow. Yes. Anchor. I love it. I love it. Mendoza, that's how those weird Japanimations start. Oh man. Matthew says, anybody seen Legend of the Overfiend?
Hentai, anybody?
I have not seen that. I don't know what that is. I have not seen it. Size comparison. I threw these in here. I want to go through these real quick. So he's a little taller than Road Pig, different buck. Everybody thought it was going to be the same.
Different body style.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, smaller than Serpentor, which is disappointing.
Odd. That's very odd, isn't it?
Matthew had pointed out that Serpentor was taller than he should have been, and I agree, but he is, and they knew he is, and they should have made Nemesis Enforcer taller. Okay.
Yeah, I
I
knew
on the phone,
do you? Hentai. That's yeah, and Triple C, he already put it up there.
Yeah, I have. Like, I got it.
Yep.
All right. So there's that. That's the look we're all going to be wanting to replicate there.
I mean, I like the figure. Look, give me my retro Flint motherfuckers ASAP right now. I want it. I want the gun. I want the figure now.
I agree. I do agree with Punk though. Like, I'm fine with the first Flint that we got. I think
I am too.
Great.
That's my favorite figure. That's I want that figure on a retro card.
Then we're gonna get
Televiper
without sleeves. So evidently this is only one ethnicity Televiper.
Okay, well,
no more option.
Then I want something across the damn visor. Give us the red. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, give us one at least.
Intruder,
different helmet, whatever, something.
Yeah,
you know everybody wants that. This cover girl, man, early cover gal.
I just like my cover girl, even though I like the Sunbow animation. My cover girl's not blonde.
No,
cover girl is got auburn hair.
Yes, auburn. Yep.
If you want blonde cover girl, I'm glad you're getting her. I will be passing on all of these other than whatever Flint looks like. If he's different enough, I'll grab Flint. Because I'm also, a fan of Flint. So depending on what they do with Flint, I'll probably pick him up. I got no interest in picking up a Televiper with a little, probably lighter purple or something. Like,
yeah.
You can have it, dude. Derek says no on Flint, one Televiper, and he needs to see Cover Girl.
Yeah, I need to see photos of Cover Girl too.
I need to see some Cover Girl photos. You know what I'm saying? So, do me a favor, real quick. Do you have the FedEx app on your phone?
Man, my wig keeps going up. I look like that chick that was in that movie about Chappie.
Like
the more and more it goes up. No, it's this chick. She's in a rock band. It's her and this dude. Damn, what's their name? What's her name? She's like South African, blonde haired South African.
Shakira?
She was in the movie Chappie.
It's the only blonde. Charlize
She's
Theron.
not. Shakira's not South African.
Yeah,
No, she ain't.
I'm pretty sure.
Shakira's South African.
Yeah, I believe so.
I
Matthew will know. I bet Matthew knows.
yeah, you know Matthew. Die Atwood. That's it. Yeah, Yolandi. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Look at this. Tell me, guys. Tell me I don't look like that chick with the wig goes further back. Does not look like
If it was blonde and short, you could, or if it was red and short, you could pull off Annie Lennox.
Oh, God.
FedEx app. Do you have the
Yankee.
FedEx delivery manager?
I do. What do you need me to look up?
Have you checked it lately? Check your FedEx doing this. You can play along in the chat if you have
Label
FedEx.
created.
Yes, check that and see where that's coming out of.
I have a label created out of Chino, California by Davin Rozowski, Mountain Avenue. And it says October 30th at 1:02 p.m. I'm guessing that's the Dragonfly.
That is the Dragonfly. They are creating labels, so it's going to be here sooner in December. People
Delivery details will be updated soon. Hold on to your wigs.
Yep, and with a little luck, they will not come DHL.
Gold dust.
Yeah, somebody said that earlier.
Yeah, Shakira's like Brazilian or South America, not South Africa.
What's the difference?
There's a what, dude? What's the difference? Shit, fire, man.
They're both a long way from here and below us. I don't know. So there's a little tidbit I wanted everybody to learn at one time. If you didn't already know, if you've got a Dragonfly ordered, they're starting to create the labels, and people probably gonna start getting them next week. We'll see. So you and I got to get together on that and do some looking.
Yeah.
Crow's great news for Dragonfly customers. Yeah, Crow is up there in Canada, and we're gonna have to possibly get Crow a Dragonfly. So
you can't even order one. Like you couldn't order one in Canada? Did they not ship there? Is that what the deal is, or what? Right? Like, is that they don't ship up there? So even if you bought one, you couldn't get it shipped technically to Canada.
I think they will with HasLabs. I'm not 100% sure. He had
I know they don't have like Target up there, right? And
yeah.
I know they don't, right? It's certain things. I understand that, but I guess I'm just trying to figure out what the deal. Like, I don't know why you couldn't. I don't know if they ship them up there or not. I know he was going another avenue on how he was gonna. Okay.
He was gonna acquire one through another method, and
I mean, there's always another method,
so
right? It just
we'll get Crow. We'll get Crow Dragonfly. I don't think that would be a big deal.
Yeah.
You should take a photo of yourself right now, and if any woman ever gives you shit for anything, show her this photo and tell her you dressed up as her.
Well, I gotta say, I don't know many women that look like this. Thank God.
Yes, I don't know. I know one. Black eyes and all.
Yeah, so, Bobby Wold too. I'm surprised they don't give an optional head for CoverGirl too. And I know you don't have that highlighted, but I just
no. They'll probably do some kind of other release for her to sell us a red hair version of the same thing.
All right, so, it's 10:06. It's going to take us a little bit to get through our treatment, so we definitely gonna have to get on it. Do you want to go walk the dog real quick, and or do you want me to take this wig off and go take a leak real fast?
Yeah, why don't you do that? I know you wanna get out of your hair.
Yeah.
So
get a good look at it, you chuds.
Oh, hold on. Let me
oh yeah.
This is for frostbite.
Yeah, there you go, Frosty.
Oh damn. That needs to be a thumbnail for something. So
boop, boop,
Oh my God. Oh, go take that thing off, Harley Quinn.
Yeah, this shit's coming off. See you in a
Yeah.
minute.
All right. So we talked about that stuff. We talked about Nemesis is on the way. Talked about Dragonfly is on the way. Did anybody get Giant Man? I know we've got some cross pollination with some other. Click, click, click. I know we've got some people that cross collect other stuff that don't just do Joe stuff. So anybody order Giant Man? Anybody get him? I saw a few pictures of him, watched a video or two. He looks very good. He's not anything that I really was interested in. I'm not really never really been much of an Avengers fan, honestly, and he's not really something that I need other than just the coolness of having a big ass character. I like that his fingers articulate, though. I thought that was a cool feature for that figure. And I think if they do any other like huge giant scale stuff, like if they ever did the snake robot from Revenge of Cobra, because he had, like hands, and I think he had a claw for one. I'd like to see him do something like that and keep that up. Derek says, passed on Giant Man. I do Legends, but not what I collect in Marvel. Yeah, and those Legends figures, man, like they were good, and then they went way downhill. And I think they saw what G.I. Joe was doing, and they've really ramped the quality on them back up. And they're making some banging Marvel Legends figures right now. I saw today the new wave of the what are they, the Weird Tales or whatever the hell it is. All right, Crow, I appreciate you jumping on, man, and sorry we're taking way too long getting to what I told you we were going to talk about, but we had a lot to go through. So check the replay, buddy, if you can't pop back in, because it's going to be good. The wave with Dracula and the new Moon Knight. Who else is in that wave? The Weapon of Vengeance, the Wolverine with the Ghost Rider head sculpt. I saw those today, and I don't really collect those guys, but I was that close to getting Moon Knight and that Weapon of Vengeance, and I really not a big really Wolverine fan, not a huge Ghost Rider fan. I like them both okay. Those figures look great. And I thought about picking both of them up. Strange Tales, thank you. I thought about picking those two up, but I'm like, I got too much going on. It's really got to be something special for me to start trying to pick up some Legends series, Legends figures like Punisher. He was a must-have. I've got got the vest on him. This is the Declan Van Helsing vest from Monster Force and Declan's gun. I just threw it on Punisher when I did some pictures the other day. Thought it fit. It's not white, doesn't have the skull, but it looks good. But Punisher is something that I definitely will get versions of in Marvel Legends. Yeah, that Moon Knight, he looked good in person, and I like Moon Knight. Like, I wasn't ever a diehard reader of Moon Knight. My brother was. He was like one of my brother's favorite characters. But that Moon Knight, I like the Knights version that just come out not too long ago. But this one, the Strange Tales, that figure looks great. What's Matthew saying? Get this, my order from Japan and my domestic Pulse DHL were shipped near the same time. Japan order arriving Friday, Pulse domestic Tuesday. I can't say I'm surprised, and that actually ties back into talking about the Dragonfly labels being created. I'm wondering, I bet maybe people get the Dragonfly before they get their damn Nemesis Immortal figure because of DHL. I don't understand why why Hasbro even bothers with DHL. I'm sure it's some kind of contractual something or another that saves them a buck. I wish they would just go with regular post office if they're going to do that. I'm a big fan of USPS, and I'd just rather see them go USPS than even go through a middleman like DHL. And this is from somebody that does not like FedEx a bit, but DHL is the absolute worst when it comes to shipping stuff. And Matthew says Japan ordered was shipped DHL. International is awesome. Domestic sucks. And that's what I've heard is DHL International is fantastic. Let's see. Menjoza, compared to G.I. Joe, how are Monster Force? Price is a sticking point to me, even though Monster Force looks amazing. I only have 2. And I only bought 2 because I felt the same way. I wanted to get them in hand. I wanted to see what they felt like, how they moved. I wanted to see how the articulation was. And what little bit, the 2 that I've got that I've messed around and played around with, they are as good as classified, if not better, for the joints. Some people have had a few that have loose joints. My Van Helsing right shoulder in the butterfly is a little bit loose, but I've got Joe figures that are far worse. And as far as like how they look and what they look like in hand, classified can't touch these guys. This is the Sleepwalker heavy weapons division. This is the other one that I've got. Basically what I was hoping for with these guys was G.I. Joe classified meets 4 Horsemen. And that's exactly what they are to me. They've got the paint work and the detail work of 4 Horsemen stuff in a military themed line like classified. They will all fit right in with classified, especially if you're getting the Cobra Law stuff. We're going to get Mindbender, anything like that. They're going to fit right in. You won't have any problem. If you're somebody that mixes lines and plays with stuff together, they're going to integrate right in. Do I think $37 is high for them? It is, but I do think that for what you get with them, the volume of accessories, I think it's there. It's just I can't go all in with them. There's no way I can order every single one or multiples.
Which one?
Monster Force.
Oh, yeah.
But their quality. So Matthew says right here, you guys know what kind of stuff Matthew collects and how much of it he's got. Monster Force is better than classified in Matthew's opinion. Pretty good trusted source of action figure comparisons right there. So I will now take my leave for a few minutes and give it to Pop Blender, and we're going to rewrite some Joe history in blood. And I will tell you guys, we usually do 3 hours. There's no way this is not going to run over. So it's kind of prepared for it. We're definitely going to be over tonight because these are going to take a little bit. So stick with us. It's going to be funny. I'll be back in just a minute.
Yeah. Man, I had to come up out of that. It's been a long time since I put on Halloween makeup. I went dressed as Michael Jackson about, I don't know, it's probably been 12 years ago, something like that. And I remember having all that makeup. Yes, I wore blackface. Somebody clipped that. But, you know, that was years ago, 10, 12 years ago. Such a long time ago. I was in college. But I went dressed as Michael Jackson, and I had a wig and everything. It was freaking awesome. Actually, I showed the pictures on my birthday stream. And yeah, it was actually it was very white face. Because that's what Mike looked like back then. Yeah, Halloween makeup. That's right, Matthew. Yeah, that stuff is just like sticky, man. I had to go get it off, and it's like trying to wipe it off with
with a paper towel and then like toilet paper, and kind of hurts. I don't know how women do it. I don't know how they go through this every day. I really don't, man. I don't envy them in the least bit. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, to give you a little sneak peek of what we've got coming up. So we took 5 figures each and kind of wrote a horror treatment, so to speak, for each one of them. And the way I approached it was kind of a, backstory, little backstory kind of, I don't know, but one of them's more of a short story, I guess. Not real long, especially because I can read through these pretty fast. But a couple of them are super goofy. So think of them as like 80s horror, like a Chucky, a Critters, Tremors, something like that, where it's like there's kind of horrific parts, but also horrifically cheesy. So I can't wait to see what he has in store. I spent most of the day kind of coming up with these, so it should be pretty fun. Let's see here. Man, Joseph says my son saw Thriller for the first time today. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because as much YouTube as kids watch, I doubt they watch a lot of videos, like music videos. And, music videos from back in the 80s especially were inventive and creative, right? Because that was really the first time when it was a medium that you could show off your band and you could show off their artistic side and all that kind of stuff. So we got all kinds of crazy camera angles and effects. You had certain directors that were directing movies and TV that would come in and direct a music video for a band. You had Duran Duran, who all their videos included, beautiful women in bikinis on the beach and the band just having a good time jumping around in the water, riding a freaking boat. Obviously Michael, was inventive with his stuff. Peter Gabriel, the Sledgehammer video was super cool with like the claymation, stop motion kind of stuff. I mean, I don't even know what a music video looks like today. Yeah, Tremors is cool for sure. Definitely a fun movie. Let's see here. Matthew says my daughter's almost 9. She's seen a bunch of MTV movie videos. Thriller was one of the first. I remember watching Thriller when I was 9 years old. My best friend had HBO. We didn't have cable. And they had the making of Thriller video, John Landis. And that was awesome because it was on HBO. It wasn't on MTV at the time. They showed it on HBO. And I remember watching the making of, and they showed them doing the dance steps and putting on the makeup and the latex, right? And behind the scenes and, directing it all. And it was just really cool to watch the whole production. And of course, famously at the beginning of that video, Michael Jackson put a quote up about how the video or whatever was in no way a part of the occult or something, because his family, his mother did not want him to do the video. She strongly opposed the video and equated it to, being demonic. And so he really wanted to do it because he thought it was, really cool idea. And yet he his mom was very against him doing it. So he put that little disclaimer at the beginning of the video that says, like, this is in no way the part of the occult or any cult, something like that. You can look up the quote exactly, but yeah, that I remember that being part of the story. And there were groups that, it's so funny to think about nowadays and all the vitriol and crap that people get pissed about. And back then it was like, religious groups mad at Michael Jackson for making a horror movie music video.
That dude caught so much shit.
Gosh. You know, it's like, yeah. So anyway.
Yes, John Landis directing music videos. Gotta love the 80s. That's right.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So
all right. Let's get to it.
Let's do it to it. Let's rewrite history in blood.
All right. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
It doesn't matter to me. You're
Me
more than welcome to if you want to go first. You know, if you want to.
That's fine.
I have quite a lot here that I think will be rather funny.
Well, I'll start out. I got it right here. So my first one is titled Spearhead and Max.
Okay.
Do
we need to pull anything up, or do you just want to
I mean, hang on here. I don't really necessarily need to pull it up, but I can pull it up. Everybody knows what what these guys look like. Let's see. I was trying to get him on a good screen. I can't take him to my second screen, so I'll just scroll down here for old Spearhead and Max. All right.
3D Joes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, baby. All right. A successful insurance salesman, Peter Millman, could sell a term policy to a dead cow. That statement always stuck in his head. Able to engage in conversation with anyone, Peter used his gift of gab to lure his victims into a sense of calm and assurance. One night, while entertaining a potential client, the phrase dead cow kept repeating in his mind, slipping into madness, not being able to rid his head of that awful phrase. Peter invited his well-fed customer back to his office to finish the deal. Unbeknownst to his plump potential sale, Peter had been training a bobcat in his spare time. A bobcat Peter had stumbled upon outside his home. Nicknamed Max, this ferocious predator had actually been training Peter. For little did Peter know, Max had a mind of his own and mind control. All along, it was Max who had been putting thoughts of madness and dead cows in Peter's head. It was Max who had masterminded the construction of the diabolical insurance dungeon of sorts in Peter's office basement. And it was Max who persuaded Peter to bring his unsuspecting victim back to the office. As Peter succumbed to the evil desires of his pet bobcat, he tricked his client into having a spot of tea, a concoction that put his big-boned customer to sleep. For it was the dead cows in Peter's head that gave him his affinity toward those of the larger persuasion. Taking out his assault rifle from his old military days, Peter gouged his victim with the bayonet over and over, while Max grinned with delight. It was then that the serial killer Spearhead was born, and these two unlikely companions would terrorize the greater St. Louis area throughout the late 1980s.
I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do mine. Oh, damn. That was good. Oh, wow.
I can't wait till the next one.
Oh, boy. All right. That was good. I like that.
Prepared for the bobcat with a mind of his own.
Man, bobcats with mind control. Matthew hit it though. Where's Punk's bobcat sound? Need that, and then you gotta cut straight to action figs going, seriously, what the fuck was that? Oh, that's the best. And I like the way that you approached it, because I was actually going to ask, like, do people like true crime and true crime documentaries? Because I myself am a fan, and I have to adapt similar to what you did. I have to do a true crime narrator voice. Did you know John Larroquette voiced the beginning of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the narrator? Did you know that?
No, I did
Dan
not.
Dan from Night Court was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre by voice only.
Nice.
So I was going to try to do mine in a similar fashion, because I can't read it as me, right? Nobody's going to pay me to narrate a true crime story, you know. And the next morning, in Billy's backpack, they found canned biscuits. Yeah, we would hear that. So, similar true crime fashion, I will also tell you about the history of blowtorch. Timothy Hanrahan, Tampa, Florida. Growing up in Florida, Blowtorch loved the heat, thrived in it. He spent his youth building devices to make himself hotter, like the iguanas. Eventually, this led him to want to project heat onto others so that they could also bask like iguanas. He developed different magnification devices for the sun's rays and enjoyed the thrill of burning old people with nature's bounty. Eventually, still, he developed a homemade flamethrower fueled by moonshine and sea moss. The day he went to test it at the Arbco Palms retirement home, he was apprehended when the safety valve malfunctioned, and he only succeeded in burning down a fire ant hill and a colony of palmetto bugs in the landscaping out front. Sitting in jail and driven insane by his failure, he developed an accent that caused him to speak inexplicably like Mr. Bentley from the Jeffersons. Offered a chance at redemption by the G.I. Joe team, he dons a government fireproof suit and general issue flamethrower, bloodthirsty to torch elderly Cobra agents.
Moonshine and sea moss.
It's a deadly combination, buddy.
Oh God, his accent Bentley from the Jeffersons.
I wish I'd have thought to work in something about walking on his back, but
Oh God. Whew. All right. Oh my God. Yeah, I think we both went down the same. Yeah, I think we both went down the same path, because my next one is let's see here. Let me hit the old stream deck here. And present. All right. Some of y'all may be familiar with this guy right here. But do you know an alternate story?
oh no.
Oh no. In the backwoods of Biloxi, Mississippi, a young man grew up in the ghetto. His upbringing was rough. Hanging out on the violent streets of downtown Biloxi, young Marvin Hinton would hustle his drugs, always cooking up a new batch to sell to his customers. Hookers and pimps, leather daddies from the Blue Oyster Lounge, and the dregs of society were all his clientele. But young Marvin detested these suckers. In his downtime, he would come up with rhymes to make fun of these poor souls. Tammy the hooker, she ain't no looker. Johnny the pimp, he walks like a gimp, was some of his favorites. But sometimes there were darker melodies playing in his head. One's like, I cooked that rock, but I want to AK this block. And I sell to these hoes, but I'd rip off their toes, being some of his darker fare. One night, while cooking up a new batch, Marvin got hungry. He mixed in some ham hocks and pickled pig's feet into a pot of crack rocks. It was there he discovered. Anyway, it was there he discovered his way out of the hood. He discovered his love of food mixed with hard crack. He'd sell his new concoction in a food truck, make a stack or two, and hot-foot it out of there. But first, he had to satiate his newfound hatred of his block. On a dark and rainy night, Marvin snapped. His mind, high on pig's feet and crack, became deranged, and he hunted down those who just hours before were buying his latest stash. First, he cornered Johnny the Pimp, shoved a crack pipe up his ass, into his nose, right to his brain, killing him instantly. Then he hunted down Tammy the hooker. He approached her, but Tammy could see the crazed look in his eyes. She bolted down the alley. Marvin ran after her, but lost her amongst the dumpsters and other trash out on the block. As Tammy ran around the corner of the alley, there stood Marvin blocking the road, almost like a roadblock. Tammy had nowhere to run. Marvin had found her, and in the middle of the rainy night, Tammy vanished. It's often said in Biloxi that when the street lights go down, the rain comes in, and the smell of crack and ham hocks is in the air. Somewhere out there, a man named Marvin is in his food truck, selling pickled hooker's feet and rhyming to the wind. 1, 2, Marvin's coming for you. 3, 4, he be killing them hoes. 5, 6, he be axing them pimps. 7, 8, ham hocks are great. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Were you dressed as Tammy the hooker tonight? Crack rocks and ham hocks.
I almost got through it without breaking up, but I can't do it. Yes. I could just, oh my God, when I was coming up with them rhymes, I was like, all right, it's just got to be roadblock.
Yeah. That's, I was
he walks
there,
like
there for a minute, man. I was gonna pick roadblock, but I don't think I could have done better than that. So, oh man. So Crow come back and said, "Oh, I didn't miss too much. I was just, oh my God, what's happening to roadblock right now?"
Yo, man, if you missed that one, you got to go back. You need to go. You need to go.
The Blue Oyster Cult has many tentacles.
Oh, the mean streets of Biloxi.
Crimson Cobra Commander says this is hilarious, not scary. It's supposed to be a little of both.
Yeah, it's like both. I told you, it's like Critters and Tremors and Chucky. You know, kind of funny.
Oh, that's way too loud.
Kind of goofy, but yeah. Anyway, so that's how roadblock came to be. He blocking the road, almost like a roadblock.
Well, I'm hungry. I'm a gourmet chef.
He's cooking. I had to get cooking in there. He just was cooking rocks.
You cooking it up.
Oh,
well, if you thought the urban legend of roadblock was horrifying, let me tell you about Airtight.
Oh no.
So, Airtight, Kurt Schnurr from New Haven, Connecticut. Born to wealthy doctor parents, Airtight grew up wanting for nothing. His mother, a gastroenterologist, and father, a second-generation ENT who specialized in boogerology, were workaholics, frequently bringing their work home. Young Kurt spent many hours alone, experimenting with different smells. Some pleasant, like gardenias, but most awful, like carcass ass. This left Kurt to wander New Haven Harbor, poking all of the deceased sea life with sticks, intoxicating by aromas they gave off. Eventually, he smelled it all and was forced to create new smells. He accomplished this by gathering various rotting sea life and combining it with the corpses he harvested from the local cemetery, as well as the boogers his father kept in his private collection. Kurt began storing these olfactory creations in his family's Electrolux vacuum cleaner. One day, the housekeeper, forgetting her vacuum at home, used the snurs. She died. Kurt tried to cover his tracks, but the smell was out. He was arrested and tried for involuntary manslaughter and numerous charges of abuse of a corpse. But the judge was harsh and sentenced him to an experimental therapy. A stint in the armed forces was just what Kurt needed. He was forced to create a special suit invented by DARPA that blocked odors. Unable to remove the helmet himself, as all the latches were dial locks. He's forced to join G.I. Joe and be their guinea pig on the battlefield against Cobra's weapons, unable to take in any of the horror for his own enjoyment.
Oh, God. Trapped in a suit with no smell. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my God. Poor fella. Isn't that a damn shame?
Crimson Cobra Commander, I cannot stop laughing. Well, good, because that was the intention. It's the Joe multiverse.
Oh, God. All right.
Carcass ass is the worst part of the carcass.
Carcass ass. Oh. All right. Let's see here. Let's get ready.
I feel like Dennis Miller.
Yeah. All right. You know you wanted him. You know you needed him.
Oh no.
Let's get ready.
There's trouble ahead, noble freedom.
Some people say the plains of Taos, New Mexico, spawned a legend. A sort of rural legend, if you will. When the white men came to Taos in 1964, they ravaged the land, brought diseases, stole the food, and pillaged the village. It was even written that the evil white men asked the head tribesmen at the local VFW, "How much for the women and the children?" It was such a horrible day that it was always remembered as the day freedom died. In the wake of that terrible event, casinos sprung up. Considered a beacon of hope to the native peoples, these bastions of excess and greed turned the natives into money-hungry, selfish capitalists, hell-bent on taking over the gambling world, one reservation at a time. But there was hope. Hope that the natives could be rescued from their evil ways, all due to the events of the day freedom died. The natives took on the traits of their tormentors from that day, and it drove their capitalistic ways. But one man named Charlie sought to take revenge on the white man, and also rescue his people from those evil clutches of wanting to make a buck. Charlie was fast like wind, silent like ghost, hard like rock, strong like bull, or so the legend says. An expert with a sniper rifle, Charlie could hit a turquoise necklace from a mile away. And with this skill, he set about righting the wrongs of his people and the people who hurt his people.
setting up from a distance unheard of in the sniping community. Charlie took aim. First, he took out Little Bigfoot, the head of security at the casino, sending one right through his left eye. Then he set his sights on John Blueballs, taking his head off without anyone noticing. Lastly, it was time for Chief Hey Mama. Charlie had to use his patented triple Lindy maneuver for this kill, banking his bullet off a dumpster, a one-armed bandit, and a cigarette girl's tray. The shot traveled right into the office of Chief Hey Mama and struck him in the heart. Charlie had succeeded in freeing his people of the evil ways of the white man. But in that moment, he realized he had just killed his own tribesmen. And for what? Because they like making a buck? The horror! Charlie knew what he had to do. He packed up his equipment, rode his horse to the VFW, and stopped just outside. The white men who had wronged his land, his tribe, his women and children were holed up inside. First, he sent his horse charging inside with explosives strapped to the saddle. Next, his eagle with dynamite, blowing the whole building to hell and rocked with a blast. Horse and eagle meat flying everywhere. Then, like a shaman on a mission from God, Charlie went in full guns blazing. That was the day remembered as the day freedom died twice in the name of revenge of the day freedom died. No one saw Charlie emerge from that destroyed building, but on a clear, sunny day, one might see an eagle flying with the sounds of gunfire, the screams of white men, and the laughing of one angry shaman on a mission from God echoing out across the land. A terrible, terrible tragedy, but a great rural legend.
The day freedom died. It was strapped with dynamite. As soon as you started, Crow said, "Tread carefully, Snowflash man."
And yes, Krusty Old Crow, it had to be turquoise. A turquoise necklace from a mile away.
Oh, and Joe's Lord. Like an old Disney narrator. Crimson Cobra Commander, not what I expected. If you do this again, you should lean more into horror for Halloween.
Oh,
well,
I don't think it would be as entertaining.
Oh, if horror you want, I'll give you some horror. That was good. That was
Let's get the
had
horror.
that minor 49er sound there. I like it.
We're
in the Old West. We're in the Old West of 1964.
And we're gonna stay in the Old West, the Wild West, as I tell you about Wild Bill.
Yes.
Wild Bill, William Hardy, Brady, Texas. Wild Bill was born in Travis County, Texas, just east of Austin. While William was his given first name, Hardy was not his last. He was forced to change it when he relocated to Hardy in his late teens. William was born to a violent, unpredictable family, the Sawyer Hewitts. They ran a ranch as well as a barbecue restaurant where they served their own ranch-bred meats. However, this was not all they served. The Sawyer Hewitts always welcomed transient laborers and offered them room and board in exchange for ranch work. Many were never seen again. Following a shocking health department evaluation of the family restaurant, the Red Rocket, authorities raided the Travis County ranch. However, the family was tipped off and chose to violently confront the authorities. William, however, was made to leave in time and escape to Brady, where the family had distant relatives unaware of the nefarious activities back at the ranch. Using the last of his funds, William secured false documents and joined the military, as he had flown a helicopter to monitor the ranch stock, and with natural ability, he was trained as a combat helicopter pilot. Also deployed as a long-range reconnaissance patrol, LARP for you PNGs. He saw action in Asia. The only thing that out-excelled his flying was his penchant for violence. It was on one of these missions where he unknowingly revealed his appetite for human flesh. Horrified by his actions, he was arrested and sent back to base. It was there that Wild Bill was offered a choice: take command of the new XH-1 Dragonfly assault helicopter to combat a new threat, or be court-martialed and sentenced to death. The new threat was called Cobra, and William Sawyer Hewitt was promised all the cobras he could kill and eat. He accepted.
I would have never guessed Wild Bill would have a taste for human flesh.
He disguised it well. He hid it well. Legend says that he wore the ears and the toenails of his victims, as a necklace.
God. Sick monkey.
He's a sick individual with an exceptional talent for flying helicopters.
Yes.
Gives me the willies.
It gives me the willies. Speaking of toenails, okay? Speaking of toenails, our next story, so spooky, is about someone with some very long toenails.
Oh no.
You know him, you love him, but you may not love him after this story. Or maybe he found love. We'll find out next. Born with talons for feet and a beak for a mouth, young Chip was always kept away from his parents and friends. Chained to the bed, hidden away upstairs, he grew up alone, unwanted and sad. As he grew into adolescence, Chip's talons also grew, his beak refined into a razor-sharp weapon. But he had no one to use it on. No canned goods to open. No fish to catch. His chains, a symbol of the oppression of bird people everywhere, were so tight he could barely move. Even though Chip was nearly a full-grown man, the chains made him frail and weak. One night, his mom slid a plate of mashed potatoes under the door. However, she made one fatal mistake that would begin this night of terror. She accidentally left a plastic fork on the plate. Distracted by her favorite Keeping Up with the Kardashians episode, she made this fatal error. Chip began slathering mashed taters all over his beak, but then realized the fork, which had fallen on the floor during his frenzied devouring of the spuds. With potatoes covering his protruding snout, Chip gripped the plastic fork and furiously began tampering with the cuffs at the end of the chains. Years of torment, being starved for attention, cruelly being made fun of for his lengthy talon toes and his pecker of a mouth. Chip became enraged. His eyes bulged and his hands clenched. His back became crooked with anger and tension. And then, as if God himself lifted him up in the air, Chip sprouted feathery wings and broke free of his chains and cuffs with the help of that little plastic fork. He began flittering around the room like a hummingbird at first, but with the fervor of a large bird, majestic like a
Raptor? Bursting out of his room, he surveyed the house. He had seen very little of it, being cooped up in his room and in bondage. He remembered from when he was a little baby bird child. His parents' room was down the hall and on the left. Immediately, Chip, Raptor, as he was now calling himself, burst in the door, mere feet above the carpet. He tore into the bed, sheets and comforter flying everywhere. He ripped into the pillows, and with feathers consuming the room, Raptor became furious, as many a bird had given their lives for those oh-so-comfortable and posh pillows. How could this happen? His parents, who locked him up, fed him scraps, and kept him from the world, didn't even tell him of his brethren that laid their lives down for the comfort of others and their well-rested nights. Were these his brothers and sisters? Cousins? Of the phylum Chordata? Feathers pricked against their will? Raptor was forever changed at this moment. He needed retribution. He needed revenge. He needed blood. He tore down the stairwell and rounded the corner, flying with fury. It was then he heard the horrifying sounds. Crashing into the kitchen, it was the sights and sounds of humans eating, prying apart the wings and legs of fried chicken. His parents. He couldn't believe his eyes. First, tearing into his own mother, Raptor ripped meat from bone, cartilage from joints, the sinew and tendons of his kill strewn about the kitchen, splattering the brand new refrigerator he had never known, a prized possession of his mother that kept all of his parents' tasty treats. The refrigerator door flew open, revealing a special rectangular carton. Eggs! Bird eggs! There was no controlling his rage now. His father, trying to run out the kitchen door, was scooped up by his shirt with the strong beak and razor-sharp talons of the now maniacal Raptor. They flew out the door and straight up to the sky above, higher and higher, faster and faster. They reached a height most mere mortals have never achieved without a vehicle. Finding it hard to breathe, his father pleaded with Chip. Please, I can explain. But Chip no longer existed. That boy was dead. That baby bird had flown the coop. And now only, God damn it, now only Raptor survived. Looking at his father, Raptor ripped his head off while screaming, "Forgive me, but you are nothing but bird seed to me." It was then in that moment a small female falcon flew by. Their eyes locked, and the world seemed to melt away for Raptor. In unison, he and the falcon cacawed as if their voices were one. He dropped his now headless father and swiftly flew to the female Falco Columbarius. Raptor had never known love like in that moment. Learning that her name was General Ledger, he felt he needed to be punished for his carnal deeds he had just committed. As the body of his father shadowed on the ground below, Raptor knew that the night ahead would be two birds intertwined with each other, with one sassy female falcon doling out the much-needed punishment and forgiveness for his murderous ways. Together, they would go on to have a half-human, half-bird family, giving each other the love and support they both always needed.
You got to read the comments. I'm guessing he means call. There's some gold comments. Oh god.
Let me scroll. Let me scroll here.
Oh yeah.
Whew. That was fun. Let's see here. You can see this. They would be evil Hawkman. Dirk Murphy's mashed potatoes surrounding
pecker of a mouth.
This would fit in with that Brightburn. That's what it was. Brightburn.
It was just a rubber chicken. I had to use General Ledger, but it's a female bird, so I had to figure out a way to work that bird in
you
somehow.
gotta figure out how to work that in.
And considering that we just got to know that Raptor's name is Chip, it's like, poor Chip.
Yeah, it's not a good day to be a chip.
Or maybe it was.
It could be.
Oh God. Oh, that's fun. All right.
That was great. I like it. I like a lot.
The next one is more traditional. So for those of you that don't want the funny, the next one I have is more traditional. So more traditional campfire story, I guess.
Well, while you're preparing for your campfire story,
Yeah, lay it on me. Let's go.
I'm gonna
Let me take off. Let me take Raptor off of here. There we go. All
I'm
right.
gonna tell you a tale of an immortal,
Yes.
and his name is Big Ben. Big Ben, David Bennett the Fourth, from Burford, England. Big Ben was born in southeast London in 1839. At age 8, he joined his father as a knocker-upper, a profession that used long poles to tap on windows to wake others up for work. Unbeknownst to his father, David enjoyed the anger displayed by people when waking them up. He became obsessed with angering others and began sneaking out at night to wake people in the dead of night, people that wanted to sleep during the night. He hid this behavior for years, well into adulthood. He then became a skilled butcher and frequently helped his community by helping supply food to needy families. Some families, the same families, he tormented night after night. One night, smelling of fresh blood while rousing innocent families in the dead of night, he run afoul of the Lost Boys, a roaming group of Victorian vampires. Smelling of blood and irresistible to them, he was feasted upon and left for dead. But he survived, and thus was turned into a vampire. Applying his trade as a butcher by night, he soon became bored and bloodthirsty. He graduated to murdering prostitutes in 1888, and by 1891, he was almost captured after he left a body under a railway arch. Knowing he was almost captured, he fled to Burford and lived on a farm, curbing his appetites by sticking to animals. He soon became tired of the tedium and enlisted in the British Army during World War I. He became a hero and then blended back into society. He did the same during World War II, passing himself off as his own son with forged documents. His bloodlust returned, however, and he was caught feasting on a squad of SS stormtroopers. He was given a choice: fake his death and vanish, or pledge lifetime service to the British Army. He chose the latter and remained a hidden lethal weapon loyal to the crown. He repeated the identity scam, now becoming David Bennett IV, living on his farm in Burford. His desire for blood was satisfied with captured enemies of the crown, secretly transported to his farm under the cover of night. He devoured any the Parliament deemed a problem. His training continued. Now a commander in the British SAS, his soldiers only saw him at night. But when the global threat of Cobra emerged, he was once again called upon. Joining a multinational task force created to deal with Cobra, he became its second in command. Operating under the cover of darkness, he even suggested the name. They're called Night Force. So who knew Big Ben was Jack the Ripper and a vampire?
And did the scam, the age scam. He posed as his son. Was that what?
Yeah, he passed himself off as his son 3 different times.
You know, I don't think anybody's probably ever thought of making a vampire movie and thought of that, where they would, you know what I mean? Like, that makes sense. But like, they would literally just pass themselves off as like a son or daughter, and that way you could keep on going and nobody would think anything about it, right? I don't think I've ever seen that in a movie before. Even Interview with the Vampire, like thinking about it, it's like they just move around from place to place.
Yeah, they just move. So Crow said he's heading to bed. Night Crow.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. Let's see. It's like Highlander.
Right? There can be only one.
All right, let's see. I have one left here, and it's more of a traditional short story. So not very funny, I'll tell you that, just so you know. Let's see here. Go back to that studio, and let's see. There he is. It's your favorite, my favorite, old crystal balls. Good old crystal balls, right? All right, here we go. me. All right. In the mountains of Carpathia, hidden deep in a castle unknown to man, is where the son of a Romanian father and American mother practices his religion, his work, if you will. Mr. Ball, as he is known, has rarely been seen lately. It seems his visits into town for supplies have lessened over the months. He used to travel at least monthly, nay, weekly, always purchasing chain and nails, feeding troughs for his horses, rope, lots of rope, and one other peculiar item for each trip into town, crystal. Large, expensive crystal. Most townfolk couldn't imagine why Mr. Ball would need such finery. His castle seldom seen much, but talked about often, had no windows. For none had gazed upon the inside of it, at least none who had told. Now, the chains? Perhaps for the horses, especially for pulling things. Rope as well. Troughs? Horses must feed, after all. And what man doesn't need nails, especially one who lives in a castle? All alone, it is presumed. But crystal? What in the world could that be for? Maybe he just loved the way it looked. Almost hypnotizing if one gazes just right. But such a large amount. And where does the crystal come from? It's brought in by horse and cart. The local shop owner can only sell it to Mr. Ball because he's the only one who can afford it. But the trips have almost ceased at this point. Why? Wilhelm, a mid-20s bartender in town, was curious one night. Last time he watched Mr. Ball leave with his usual purchases, he swore he'd find out why he buys what he buys. But he hasn't seen Mr. Ball in some time. Seems like the town had gotten less populated since Mr. Ball stopped coming in. Maybe he had work to be done and needed to hire some of the stronger folk. So Wilhelm mounted his horse and traveled the long, windy road to the castle none had seen inside. As he approached the gates, they seemed to open without touch, close behind him as he passed. Arriving at the front door, Wilhelm used the large, round iron knocker. 3 times he knocked. Nothing. No answer. Certainly someone was home. The horses were feeding and the carriage was out front. Sneaking around the back, Wilhelm found a small door, such that was unlocked. Gathering his courage, he
snuck inside. Dark, damp, and a bit windy. He thought to himself, where's the wind coming from? There's no windows. Stammering in the dark, finally finding some light, he stumbled upon a person with blank eyes, a sunken face, emaciated arms and legs. There was no reaction from the almost corpse-like human. Further he progressed, more and more people he came across with the same look, yet none of them even acted as if he were there. And then he saw it, the crystal. All of it melded into one giant mirror-like structure. And it was there that he saw the horror. Mr. Ball, with dozens of people gazing at the crystal, mouths agape as if their souls were being sucked right out of their bodies. That's the only way it could be described. Wilhelm tried not to scream. He started backwards, but tripped over something. A trough? With half a dozen people trying to drink and eat out of it? All of them chained together. Horrified, Wilhelm started running back the way he came, but it was so dark he couldn't remember which way was which. He felt his way along the wall, trying not to panic or breathe too heavily. He found a corner and made a turn right into Mr. Ball. Eyes glowing, crystal in hand. The crystal had been formed into the shape of a circle, and Mr. Ball, spinning the crystal somehow rapidly until a pattern emerged. Wilhelm had never seen something so beautiful. It reminded him of his home, the field that stretches out seemingly forever behind the stables, his mother making dinner, his father bringing in the horses after a hard day's work. It was as if he was right there in the middle of the day, reaching out to touch the beautiful sunlight. His mom, the horses. Wilhelm was transfixed. Building a large reservoir for the bodies after they're used up is hard work. It requires mindless movement, repetition. No one wants to do it, but the work must go on. The work is all that matters. And this castle can't hold everyone. There's just not enough space. New people show up every now and then, but the old ones, they must be discarded. Wilhelm knows this. He must do his part. He wants to be fed. He hasn't seen the stable, the horses, or mom and dad for some time, but it's okay. Mr. Ball is all he needs now.
I love it. I love it.
Told you, it wasn't very funny.
Oh, it's all right. Oh, that was good, man. Turns into
Mr. Ball.
The town, folks. Oh, Mr. Ball.
I did have to work in the Wilhelm tried to scream.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Nice. So,
yes,
got
Matthew. I've seen Highlander.
I like the Mr. Ball in all his crystals spinning rapidly.
Yep.
That's good. I like that.
Hypnotizing the town folk and then discarding them as he continues his priceless work.
In his crystal palace.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I like it. I like the short story. It's hard. Like you start writing it, and it's like, well, it can't be too long, but I got to get all this in, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. They, once you get going, man, they kind of like start writing themselves, and you read it back, and you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yes.
It's like,
trust me,
I can't believe I come up with it.
Typing away on that last one, and I was just like, well, it's not very funny, so I guess I'm just gonna make a short story out of it, and then find a way to end it.
Yeah, hey man, might as well. I liked it.
All right, what you got? What you got?
Would you like to hear the tragic story of Edward Schuyler? This one has a bit of a sci-fi feel to it.
Right.
A little bit of loss and a little bit of tragedy, and you'll see what I mean. So let's hear the story of Starduster Edward Schuyler for Burlingame, California. Growing up 2 miles from San Francisco International Airport, Starduster dreamed of flying. When he was younger, he wished he could transform into a bird. Along with his twin brother, he played along the rocky cliffs of San Francisco Bay, pretending to fly like the seagulls and the condors they watched repeatedly. One day, while they were flapping along on the Golden Gate Bridge, his brother slipped on a fresh pile of pelican feces and fell to his death in San Francisco Bay. His body was never recovered. This destroyed preteen Edward's world, but not his obsession with flight. His focus turned from wishing he could transform from a bird to a plane. When he was 20, he learned from a Bay Area prostitute that he knew from high school, who had slept with local military personnel, of a top secret project to outfit a soldier with an experimental jetpack. Through a variety of shady deals and bribery, he learned the location of this experiment, Fort Zancudo. After neutralizing several guards and making his way in, he found the experiment, but the information he was given was not complete. The jetpack was a functioning prototype, but the experiment was not the jetpack. The experiment was to attempt to teleport the jetpack from one location to another. As he attempted to steal the jetpack, the device was activated. He teleported across the country to Fort Wadsworth, New Jersey, and in doing so, he was fused with the jetpack. In his confusion and pain, he activated the jetpack. Flying into a wall and being unfamiliar with the controls, it knocked him out. He awoke in a top secret military base, codenamed The Pit, with amnesia. The soldiers stationed there, a unit named G.I. Joe, took advantage of the amnesia and retrained Edward as a soldier of the skies, forever fused with a machine that fulfilled his childhood dreams that he could no longer remember.
Nice. Reminds me of like Twilight Zone, you know?
That's I'm trying to throw in a little bit of everything. Like I got some fly in there.
Right. Lived on some, what did you say? Pelican feces?
Pelican feces. Oh,
God dang it. Oh my God.
So do you know do you know what Fort Zancudo is? I know you've heard it before. You just don't remember it.
God, I have, but I don't know shit. I was thinking of it when you said it. I was like, where the hell do I know that?
I had to look it up. So Fort Zancudo was the military base in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh shit!
In California that you had to break into.
Hell yes.
Oh,
damn! I haven't thought of that in 20-something years, probably. At least.
So that was the last one that you had, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have enough time, really.
Yeah.
I don't think, to spin another yarn on there.
I could have written these all week, honestly. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you know, like, definitely kept going. I mean, once I got started, you know, it was like, okay, I can come up with some fun, you know, funny kind of you know, because I gotta have fun with it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And if you know, writing a short story, kind of like the last one, I actually enjoyed that. But then I was like, God, how am I going to bring this around? You know, it's like, this is a story. I'm writing a goofy kind of semi, you know, horror / you know, treatment for something. I can find a way to finish that up. But I'm like, I've got to find a way to finish this story. You know, and it's like, well, shit. But no, it is actually a lot of fun coming up with those, for sure. I mean,
I have one more.
Yeah, you did
I have an extra one.
You did a raptor. Now, was he tearing the skin and meat and cartilage from his father's body or his mother's body?
He was not. And somebody thinks really highly of this raptor because they had him priced at $95 there. I just noticed that. So,
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. So I have a reboot of the Raptor story. And it actually,
that's how Hollywood does it. Literally,
it's
right back out with a new one.
It's a reboot of a Raptor story set in the same universe as something else.
Uh-oh.
So let's hear the story of Raptor. Raptor, file name unknown to him. Raptor does not remember his early life. His earliest memory is fluffy, warm, and a cool breeze spraying misty water in his face. He was found by hikers in a large bird's nest on the rocky shores of Tennessee Beach, guarded by a family of California condors. They had been caring for him, mistaking him for one of their own, seeing as how he was inexplicably dressed in a waterlogged bird costume. The puzzled hikers contacted authorities about the mysterious bird boy. Upon arrival, the authorities were forced to kill the family of condors to rescue the strange child. This, of course, destroyed his psyche, as that was the only family he knew. Killing condors is a felony of offense, of course. Thus, this event and the discovery of the boy was swept under the rug by California authorities. Whether or not they realized his true identity can never be known. Obsessed with ornithology and revenge, young Raptor was shuffled through various juvenile facilities, reading and learning all he could about birds and torture. He was frequently violent and responded to most questions with hisses and calls. As he was alone with his studies, he could speak, but he chose not to. Upon his 18th birthday, and due to overcrowding, he was released. He took a part-time job at the San Francisco Zoo, where he worked his way up to caring for the birds of prey and adopted them as his new family. It was here that he met the only human who understood him, Leroy Crockmaster Parker, who cared for the reptiles. They had similar upbringing, and they bonded over their tragic pasts. They became fast friends, then lovers, who spent evenings cawing about breaking their animals out and living a life of freedom. One day, they met a mysterious man admiring the reptile display. They began talking and struck up a friendship with the stranger, who claimed to have made millions in the used car business. The stranger became a repeat customer and eventually, gaining their trust, unveiled his evil plan to rule the world. He offered to help them steal their animal families if they pledged to serve his army of conquest and revenge. He even offered to train them in obscure military tactics. Raptor, still lusting for revenge on the men who murdered his bird family, readily agreed. The very next night, Raptor, Leroy Crockmaster, and all of their animals were freed by the fanatics loyal to their new cause, Cobra. It could have turned out differently for Raptor, whose birth name was Ned Schuyler from Burlingame, California. Starduster's dead twin brother all along with Leroy Crockmaster. his lover.
His lover. Oh my God, Jesus. Oh. Oh my God.
Oh,
All
you
right.
said you were doing a raptor, and I'm like, all right, I can vibe with this. How can I work you in?
Yeah, he
Man.
was one of the first ones I thought of when we were talking about doing it. I was like, oh yeah, and I had thought about Crocmaster, but then it was like, no. I was like, that's too on the nose. I'm like, he trains crocodiles.
Yeah, like
people. It's like, dude.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do?
No.
Crimson Cobra Commander earlier, I think it said that I'm surprised these are all Joes. Well, it's too easy with the Cobras.
Yeah, definitely with some of them in particular, but like with the Joes, it's fun.
You don't expect it.
No, exactly, and also to me, like it's like with let's say Roadblock, it gave me a chance to work in the cooking angle.
Yeah,
with like cooking up drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so outrageous.
Yeah,
but it's like
so outlandish.
Right.
It's
And
funny, so.
and the other stuff. I mean, but yeah, no, I no, it was fun. It was fun, definitely. And then I know. So look, what are you doing tomorrow night? Because we're running up on 3.5 hours, and I am getting a little tired myself. So I want to kind of ask you, what do you have going on tomorrow night? And then because I've got to work tomorrow night. I'm going to stream on Friday, which November the 1st. I'm not doing any Halloween, nothing like that. Unless it's done, it's done. But what do you got going on tomorrow night? And when I get out, I'll see, depending on what you got happening, I'll see if I can get out and try to jump on with you or whatever.
So first off, if you're on the East Coast, happy Halloween, because it is now 12:23 where you at. So got a few more minutes here. So tomorrow night I'm gonna get on with Lawrence for a little while is my plan. He's gonna do a stream about the streamathon for Toys for Tots that he just did. And if there's room, I'm going to get on there with him for a little bit. And then tomorrow night, I am going to do a stream. It's going to start kind of late because I want to allow for people that want to watch Punk and, be part of that. So I'm going to allow time for that, let Punk have that time. And then I have it scheduled for 10:45 Eastern, so 9:45 Central. I am going to do a stream where I'm going to talk about all kinds of spooky stuff. We're going to talk about the real, the supernatural, and then we're going to talk some horror movies, which will be the main part of the discussion. And I say we because I am going to have a couple special guests that have not announced it. I didn't put it in the description or whatever, but if you have a really keen eye, you can probably figure out who's going to be on with me. But we're going to talk some spooky stuff and some horror movies, and I am going to send you a link if you are able when you get out of work, if you want to join that. Basically, we're just going to do a fun Halloween stream, just talking about, I got some pictures of like past costumes and some previous Halloweens that I didn't lose pictures of. I actually did go way back on Facebook and actually find some of them.
Good.
Not as many as I would like, but just go through some pictures of that, and then we're going to talk some real scary real life stuff, and then we're going to basically talk horror movies for a while and go over. I'm not going to spend any super long time on any one or the other. I've got a bunch of them to just kind of flip through, and we get stuck on one, no big deal. We, see what the chat wants to talk about. And that's going to be the spooky Halloween stream for Halloween night. I took Friday off, so I can go, till we run out of steam or whatever. So that is my plan for tomorrow. I got to do something for Halloween, not going anywhere to give out candy or anything. So I thought, why not talk horror movies and ghosts with my friends?
Sweet.
So you got a stream coming up on Friday? Anything else going on?
No, just Friday night. Yeah, that's about it. And then next Tuesday, obviously, but yeah, that's about it. So yeah, when I get out of work, I mean it it's usual time. I usually get out Thursdays. I usually get home about anywhere from 10:30 to 11, something like that. So it just depends.
All right.
It's
well, I'll send you the link tomorrow.
Yeah, shoot it to me, and yeah. I'll give you a holler, man, and probably either A, tune in on my way home, or B, depending on if you're still on with Punk, or whatever. I mean, we close at 9 Central, so obviously there's time in there.
Oh yeah.
Beforehand. So
that's I'm planning on I'll have to see how the guest on his stream.
Yeah.
Or I'm planning on trying to be off of there by 9 or so, 9:15 our time, because I got to do some rearranging and stuff in here before we start. So but I don't want to take up a lot of time on Punk stream. I've done enough of that lately, but I do want to be part of it. So so that's what I got going on. Hopefully we will be eventually soon next week possibly trying to do a review on Nemesis Immortal, and we'll see about that Dragonfly. I hope me and you can get together and do something on the Dragonfly. I don't know if the schedules are going to allow it, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it lines up. It just depends on how they deliver it and what's going on. I mean, pretty much after this upcoming Saturday, there's nothing happening on the Saturdays that I have my son. So from then on, it'll be just hanging out. You know what I mean?
Right.
His last band competition is this Saturday. So, well, look, let's get up out of here. Call it a night. And
hit that like button if you guys hadn't. Make sure you're subscribed to Pop Blender over on his channel. Listen to his Friday night pop culture solo commentary, and then his stream on Tuesdays with Matthew Matson talking about all the shows and movies and stuff that are going on. And that is all I got. I appreciate everybody that's been watching and sat through all of this mess. I hope we've entertained you a little bit. And everybody in the chat and watching the replay, thank you. And you want to roll us out of here?
Yeah, man. You got the song, don't you?
I do have the song.
I'd roll us out of here if it was on my channel.
I have it, and I did not have it queued up. So let's do that one more time. We'll see you guys next time on 7's Wild, about 2 weeks.